there, folks. Welcome to ZSR. We've got a tournament race for you today. We have got a hype match coming up, and apologies for my computer being rather slow at transitioning to show off what we got going. We have Bonooru versus Riley coming up. Oh, and I am an idiot and set the countdown for like 5 minutes shorter than it needed to be because I did not sleep nearly enough. So I guess we get to chat a little extra going into this match. Because I gave us an extra 5 minutes to intro because I can't math.
Oh, that's all right.
Sounds good to me.
Keepsake, Yoshi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Lost?
Apparently an idiot, but that's fine.
How's it going, chat? You all hype?
Yo, we're getting a lot of Riley support in chat.
Really are. Gotta root for the underdog here. This is gonna be a great match. Knowing both these runners super skilled, obviously to make top 32. Bono coming from S2, it was I think he was top 5 in S2 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so
higher than that. I think top 3 or 4.
Bono is very skilled at this game and definitely favored, but anything could happen in Rando. Anything.
Oh, yeah. We've already seen some upsets so far this tourney.
I was saying earlier actually, so Riley was like, you know, kind of chill about this race coming into it a bit. He was just like, whatever, I'm unfavored, I'll just like take a few risks, play kind of aggressively, and then he did a practice race yesterday and got absolutely destroyed in it and just kind of shot his confidence completely. So
yeah, he's really nervous.
Yeah.
So we've got a light medallion start. Is this a vanilla seed? Could be. Hey, I mean, that's one out of
doubtful,
over 200.
Technically, mathematically... Nope, actually, no, it isn't. It isn't even mathematically possible. Because of key layouts. You cannot have a vanilla key layout.
That's true. Yep, that is true.
So you cannot roll a vanilla seed, at least using glitchless logic. Which we do, because this isn't a glitched tournament.
It's gotta be one of the worst seeds to have every item on vanilla locations. Every major item.
You start that up and you see Deku, DC, and Jabu your stones, you're like, oh, I've just got to do AD, right? Like, it's just got to be all dungeons. Let's go rush through those. And it, yeah, okay.
And it's just SOT. So, in our surveys of the players, it says that of the skills that these runners value of their own skills that they think they are the best at, Bono says he is very much thinks he's a great router, and Riley thinks that he is just decent at just all around decent, not great at any one particular thing.
Yeah,
so,
I know Bono got a lot of attention at one point because there was a run of weeklies, maybe towards the tail end of summer, where I think over the space of about 8 or 9 weeks, Bono entered over half the weeklies. Like, he entered every EU one and some of the NA ones as well, and came top 2 in every single one of them.
That routing is so important.
And quite a few of those were high skull counts. That's definitely where Bono's kind of got his niche.
I want to say in the Beta Quest tournament that happened last year, that Bono was one of the top finalists for that. I can't remember for certain if he won it or not, but I do recall him being one of the finalists for that one. So it isn't just the item randomizer. He is a diversely skilled Ocarina of Time player.
Yes,
from
it's
bingo days
as
and whatnot.
a bit of a bit of a history with Bono with Zelda runs. He started back in 2014. He runs a lot. He says he's run all OOT categories, so he's very, very familiar with this game.
Yeah,
Well, Riley, not so much.
I was going to say, this is definitely like a kind of old guard versus newcomer story.
Mhm.
We've got one who's been going for like playing OOT for about 5 or 6 years. Only rando for about a year and a bit, actually, which is surprising. But
And Riley only started in April of last year.
Riley's been going like 8 or 9 months and it's just shot up.
To make top 32 after 8 months, like that's very, very good. That is a lot of skill to gain in a short period of time.
So we're being asked what we want this seed to be.
What we want this seed to be?
Yeah.
I want it to not take 6 hours.
So, yeah, I was going to say, I know there's one risk that Riley was talking about making, and I want to see a close race more than anything. I know there was one risk that Riley was talking about making, which was skipping skulls entirely.
That is such a risk.
Up against somebody who we're saying is arguably the best person at rooting skulls in the game. I'm kind of hoping it's not a skull seed, because that will end up being a little bit one-sided.
Yeah, I want to say Bonooru does have that bingo background, so that is something that definitely is advantageous from coming from that background, knowing where all the skulls are and how to get around to them all.
Mm-hmm.
And for those that are unaware, in these randomizers, because all the items are switched around, there are 5 random items in the skull house at 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And the hit stones, the stones around the world give hints as to where items are. Some hints are forced to be in every single seed, and 30, 40, and 50 skulls are always hinted in every seed. So we'll always know what's on 30, 40, 50. Not always on what's 10 or 20. So it could be a mystery if he skips skulls.
Okay, and we are about to get going.
We are ready to start. Runners have begun. Here we go.
Oh wow, near enough mirrored on the green tunic.
Oh no, you didn't randomize your tunic color? Oh, well then I have to like Riley's.
But it is the better of the two.
Yeah, that authentic Kokiri green is prettier looking.
It is, but it looks like he didn't randomize any colors because his hearts are the same color too. Same color as vanilla. Yeah. So get our check of Mido's house first. 4 easy, quick checks. There's our slingshot. Right away, a slingshot.
Yeah, a little bit of shopping money and a slingshot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of money there.
Riley about to show us what's in the other check. Looks like Bonooru is piecing out and skipping.
Getting out of Kokiri
and just
Forest.
Skipping a heart piece, so it's not going to punish him.
That's going to help.
So I imagine Bono's going to come back for that later. There was a slingshot there. You're not going to get a Baron hint. There is something in Kokiri Forest, so...
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and for some terms that we'll use a lot while we commentate are Way of the Hero and Baron or Foolish. That basically means Way of the Hero will mean that they have to go to a certain location in order to complete the game, which means there is an item that logically they have to pick up in order to beat Ganon. And Foolish or Baron will mean that there is absolutely no unique item in that location.
That there is nothing required by logic.
Yes.
There can be unique items in Foolish regions. You can have the Goron sword in a Foolish region, but it is something that has no logical implications on the seed.
What was that hint?
That was the first hint and a half.
Something
that was
eyeball
the
frog.
Sun has the eyeball frog.
What has the eyeball frog?
Shooting the sun.
Okay. That could be something interesting. Ooh, we got Riley farming rupees here in the twins' house. It looks like he's gonna go straight Deku here.
So this
Getting
again,
that slingshot,
this
it makes it appealing because Goma's in logic immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this might also be an interesting kind of metagame call because Riley traditionally has been a big fan of early adult. I know Bono is very much doing what I think a lot of the French runners seem to be doing at the moment, which is get the hint on the way to the owl at the lake.
Yep,
And just go
open
straight
grotto
to the
and
owl.
Straight to market, yep.
What Bono is doing right now, getting the hint on the lake, that takes such precise movement to get this hint and still make the castle gate in time. I have
And
tried this myself. It is so hard.
We are not going to be seeing the baby Decus today. All they have is an arrow refill, so...
I'm sorry,
we will not be
Lost.
seeing Child Trade Quest happening today. My beloved baby Decus will not get visited.
F's in
And
chat for
Nocturne
this.
out in Ice Cavern. Riley checking that hint.
Yikes. That is
Ooh.
usually a required song, not always a required song.
Nocturne being ZL locked makes AD for shadow nonsense. It does take that off the table, so it isn't as bad.
Big
And
Goron is
Goron
dead
crafts a
today.
piece of heart, so that Shoot the Sun eyeball frog is not going to be collected.
So we are not going to need any trade quest items in this seed, child or adult.
Oh.
And so yes, does that shoot this on the eyeball frog? Unfortunately, non-consequential.
Yeah. Bonooru receiving a 5 rupee ransom from Richard's mama.
It's
I
a
was
chore.
gonna say, is that one that Riley's like happy about that Richard doesn't pay off in this one? For anyone who doesn't know, Riley's multi-world in the multi-world tournament, the team that Riley's on, Team Richard the dog. So,
Okay,
here
so
it
the hints that I saw was Dodongo's Way of the Hero, and Ocarina's Sons. And then
so Zora
Fountain
Fountain
Baron.
Baron at the end, yeah.
Dodongo's Way of the Hero. Definitely nice to have, but runners will typically do Dodongo's Cavern in most seeds anyway. But it does give them the ability to know that yes, I should probably full clear Dodongo's Cavern in this seed.
Always full clear your Way of the Hero regions. I
Absolutely.
say that time and time and time again.
So, Way of the Hero, as I said, Way of the Hero means there's something in that location that we need to begin.
As
But
far
each
as
one
the
of the
randomizer program is concerned, you have to get it. Now, our runners are skilled, and they can occasionally sequence break away from what the intended path is. But as far as the algorithm that created this seed is concerned, something hard required is there.
and
Also, yeah,
each
to throw in the hints there, we did get left hand of the Colossus was a key as well, and Fire Temple has a whole lot of nothing today.
I did not see the fire foolish.
yes, the Fire Foolish was near the castle.
Ah, okay. I was looking at Riley's side at that moment.
Yeah. But what I was gonna say, Way of the Hero, only whenever we get a hint for Way of the Hero for a location, it only points to one item in that location. Sora Scale in Deku Tree.
It's given us
but-
early domain access.
So when we say full clear your Way of the Heroes, it means, hey, the Way of the Hero can only point to one thing. So there could very well be more things in this location. And we know we have to be here anyway, so...
Yeah, the algorithm is a little bit skewed to be more likely to pick a region if there are multiple Way of the Hero
Exactly.
items in the playthrough found there. It's
Right.
mathematically more likely to get selected. Because
Right,
there
it just
are more
picks an
things to
item.
result in it getting
Yeah.
picked.
Right.
I was going to say, I definitely think the full clear Way of the Hero, like, there is a limit to it. I don't think there's any kind of hard and fast rules in Randomizer, but that one tends to hold true. Not 100%, but a good 90.
So what we see Bonooru doing, I think, might be a 3-song child route, we like to call it, where he went quickly to Hyrule Castle to grab the Zelda's Lullaby check. He is now heading to Lon Lon Ranch, where, since he has talked to Zelda, he can now talk to Malon and get the song off of Lon Lon Ranch. And we assume, if he is going 3-song child, that he will then make his way to potentially Deku Tree and then Sacred Forest Meadow to pick up the Saria song check. And thus getting 3 songs as a child before going adult. he may not. He may go back to Hyrule Castle and go adult after Lon Lon Ranch. I've seen it done. But that is what is typically the route that a lot of runners choose is a 3-song child route. It gets a lot of nice songs to, if they're not useful for getting checks, they're useful for teleporting you around the world.
By the way, chat also pointing out here, so after the conversation earlier about Riley and skulls, Riley's picked up 2 of the skulls in Deku Tree, but not the 3rd one.
Yeah, he's making a play towards 10.
Just 10. I think, he'll skip 20 and just hope that that's nothing, I assume, but...
Yeah, and then if he gets a hint for 30, 40, or 50 that he needs skulls, he'll obviously change that tactic. Nice quick kill on Goma. That is not an easy trick.
That was clean. Yep, 1 nut, 1 cycle.
Didn't even fall onto the... has the slingshot, which makes it way easier. But, why do that?
As Bonooru makes his way to the back of Lon Lon, Riley picks up a big ol' red rupee for his trouble of killing at Queen Goma. Let's see what reward he gets.
Ooh.
Zora's Sapphire. That may not be needed, but maybe it's AD, or AD. By AD we mean all dungeons.
Right. So I tend to get into the habit now of assuming that if you see an early
Lullaby
stone,
Meadow.
if any of your starting stone or medallion, Deku Tree, Dodongo's Cavern, if any 2 of those are stones instead of medallions, it's probably all dungeons. It is only for Sun Song, so I'm going to assume it's nothing, but
yeah, it's very unlikely with Sun Song on Ocarina of Time, which is the thing we need all 3 stones to get.
But we haven't seen any explosives yet, so that early scale may still be advantageous.
50 and 30 are dead.
So this is another thing with the opening routes. So, like I say, I know Riley generally is a big fan of early adult, but has been talking recently about kind of shaking that up a bit. The scale makes Gerudo Valley a lot more tempting because you can dive into Zora's Domain, do things from there, go into Zora's River.
Off of the target in the woods.
Nice. But yeah, so the thing is, Riley also, as far as I know, isn't a fan of Gerudo Valley either.
I don't think neither of these runners are fans of Gerudo Valley because neither of them have gone there.
I think going there after Lon Lon Ranch is an option in 3 songs, so we could see Riley go there, especially with the scale where you... Oh, wow!
Oh, that is
Hookshot on Slingshot game.
Not so great for Bono with getting to market right at nightfall.
Let's see what Riley does with this.
Right, yeah. Bono will need it to be day to get back into the market, and
he'll probably pick up Slingshot game then.
Yeah,
so that's possible. That's our second Dodongo's Cavern Way of the Hero.
That's our 3rd.
That's our 3rd. So there's 2.
There was one in Sacred Forest Meadow and Temple of Time, and then that one.
Oh. Okay.
Wow. Okay, so we got double Dodongo's Way of the Hero. So, Way of the Hero. Every hint in this game is duplicated. So if we find a Way of the Hero for Dodongo's Cavern 3 times, that means that hint was duplicated twice. It means we've got 2 different Way of the Hero items. It's pointing to 2 different things in Dodongo's Cavern. So
the medallion check, and Forest Medallion is Shadow Temple.
Okay, so he needs the Nocturne to get the Temple of Time song.
That did not look.
And Bono saves Bono's resetting and scumming away those used chews. He's getting those back.
Nice. That is a great move when you don't have
good
bombs.
Items behind them.
How big was the pack of chews? Was it 10?
I believe it was the 10-pack, yep. And he still has it fully in tow now. Because those pieces of heart and whatnot were not worth it.
So, Dodongo's Cavern, double way of a hero, is also a spiritual stone. That is not one of their medallions. Their medallions do not look friendly at all.
Yeah, it's not a good medallion layout. That's for sure. No, that's for sure.
Deku, DC, and Forest for Sun Song for one check. No thanks.
Possibly two.
Those-
We haven't seen the frogs hint.
True.
Those are some of the Those are some of the most completable dungeons in the game. The least requirements. For those.
And you know that there's two goodies in Dodongos. Like, nobody is
Right.
going to skip it. Nobody in their right mind will skip it.
No, not at all. But what's interesting is that if Riley doesn't find any explosives here soon, Bono might be the only one that approaches Dodongo's Cavern as on his first trip to adult with explosives.
Although we still
Which
haven't
you-
seen any strength,
Ooh,
so...
that's a Din's fire up on the windmill.
Yeah, that's a nice get.
Unfortunately, unusable until magic is found, but it's necessary to get into Shadow Temple.
Yeah, it is still nice to find that early so that you aren't hunting for it.
Yes.
Even if you don't have everything you need, finding those unique items that there's only the one single copy of that you need, like Din's, like Rudo's letter, finding those early so that you aren't hunting for them. So that as soon as you get the other equipment you need to take those on, that you're ready to go. That is a nice convenience.
Very nice convenience. And we see Bonooru tracing Riley's steps through Deku Tree. We know he will find a scale while he is here.
So I think one thing that's worth noting here as well is the difference between early adult versus kind of the 3-song route. I think, generally speaking, early adult has the kind of higher risk, high reward. If you find a couple of major items, you get to clear some dungeons out and be very efficient by getting to the more items faster. But the 3-song route, your songs generally are your travel time, and so if you don't get the early items in the early adult route, well, you get the warp songs as a child, or you get songs to be more efficient and more thorough on the way
Ooh,
through.
that
bag.
looked like a bomb bag up on the graveyard ledge.
Ooh.
Sorry to interrupt, but that's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
a big peak there.
If
Yeah.
that's our logical bomb bag, that's huge.
Scale
that
into
could-
the
And
river.
it is logically accessible because of that scale in Deku Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Beans are acquirable right now.
Yep.
Yeah, the other thing I was going to say, by the way, was just the 3-song route in this exact race had Zelda's Lullaby at the end of it. So Riley is doing a whole lot of stuff right now, trying to find items. Bono's going to come back through all of this with Zelda's Lullaby. Like, that's so much more efficient, where Riley's going to probably have to backtrack and double back quite a lot compared to Bono.
And what's really nice also that bonus of having those warp songs is that Bono has Minuet already. So when he goes adult, he could potentially just go straight to Sacred Forest Meadow as adult and grab another song that Riley's gonna have to walk to.
Or just not be able to get at this rate.
Hey!
found Greg.
We found Greg. Riley hates Greg.
His least favorite meme, yeah.
His least favorite meme. And he finds it right in Dampe Rays. This seed is a valid seed. The meme being that it's Greg, otherwise known as the Validation Rupee, and the Green Rupee of Eternal Glory, aka that's where the Greg acronym comes from. That is the only check in the game that is a single unit of money. So
That item is unique in the item pool,
yes, they will not
and
find
therefore we
another one
celebrate
rupee
its
check.
discovery.
It needs some love. Their blue rupees are too up on their high horse. You need
They
to
are so plentiful.
bring them down.
Oh,
Light
Light
arrows.
arrows from Rufio.
So that's a nice check. Obviously need those to beat Ganondorf towards the end of the game.
Who
Doesn't do
would've
anything progression-wise, but you
Who
need
would
to
have
find
thought
them.
that Kakariko had something important in it?
Oh,
Who
really?
would have ever guessed?
Yeah, nobody ever goes there without a hint.
We'll eventually see that legendary Kakariko Baron hint.
I've seen a screenshot of someone else get it, and honestly, I think that's as close as I'm ever getting.
And for information, it is so rare to get Kakariko as Baron because the only songs that can be Baron, that can be in Baron locations, are Prelude and Serenade. The only songs that don't that
So
can be there.
having both of those be on the 2 song checks within Kakariko, as well as all of the other checks in that extremely dense region. Yeah, it is. I want to
Near
say
impossible.
during season 2's spoiler log analysis, as people were prepping for it, that there were 16 out of 10,000 seeds that had Foolish Kakariko. And I don't think our settings have changed drastically enough for that to really have shifted
was on the
to
top
be
of
much
DC?
more
I
likely.
think
There's
those
something
were
up there.
boots. I didn't see which boots, but I think they were boots.
Irons, it looks like. Chad is saying that those were irons. That's a decent find, needed for not, I guess not necessarily always needed for Water Temple, but really makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
You can do Water Temple with Gold Scale and Long Shot as well, but irons obviously make it a lot easier.
Yeah, that's never
Riley-
required by logic under tournament settings, but is one of the many bits of permitted tech for our runners to utilize.
Riley's a little bit stonewalled here. He doesn't have explosives. He can't do any of DC. He can't blow up Link the Goron. Looks like he may have to walk his way here to all the way out to the field to get to Kokiri Forest and Sacred Forest Meadow. Just doesn't feel good.
It seems like the play here would be warping back to Temple and going back. Maybe he's gonna visit the river first, though.
That is a
there's,
decent option.
3 checks there, 3 different hid stones, so there is some knowledge to be gained there. And Bonooru is at the river as well, but is there as child, so can purchase beans.
Riley's going straight to the minuet check. That... I guess this is a time of day, so this is one of the routes that's kind of come up recently. Riley's kind of doing a variation on that, I feel. But I feel like at that point you're better off just going through the river.
Yeah, I would think river is where you want to be right now. In Riley's position, you can get the 3. You can at least check the 3 checks that adult can check on river, and then just scale yourself into Lost Woods. I guess this gets some Deku nuts, but
And lower river check, just being a Bloopy today, not anything that they need to pick up.
Oh, and for anyone who's also unfamiliar with randomizer, any ammo of an item that they don't have yet, so like at this point, arrows or bombs, since they don't have a bomb bag or a bow, any of those checks that would show up as bombs or arrows will show up as bloopies until they pick up the bow or the bomb bag, respectively. Just a little bit of information of that might be a blue rupee, but also might be bombs or arrows. None
Also,
of that matters per se.
And on the
I didn't
river, there
realize
was our
until
4th
now.
copy of Dodongo's Cavern.
Okay.
I didn't realize until now, Riley didn't actually pick up the egg yet, so that's why he
quicker.
couldn't go through the river, because then it would turn to day. I was thinking he had the egg and would just hatch it at that point, so it's fine, but no, he hasn't picked it up yet, so he needs it to be night when he save quits back, so he can get in and talk to Malon to get the egg before it turns to day. Which actually is going to be pretty tight looking at where his time of day is right now.
So here we have Riley with a nice glitchless jump up to the top of the maze, because he doesn't have to fight the moblins on his way to his minuet check. Oh, he does get a Skulltula for being here at night.
And as Chet is pointing out, up on the open hint stone up on the plateau in the river, Chet's pointing out that was Graveyard Way of the Hero.
Prelude of
Which
Light.
is a little bit yikes with that Sun Song on Ocarina.
That it is.
Was that Frog's Dead there, I think?
Deku's
Yeah.
shield on frogs too, yep. So we
Also-
do not need Sun Song for frogs too.
Of course, that makes that bomb bag a lot more suspicious than the graveyard crate.
Right, yeah. That's actually really big. If bombs Way of the Hero... That actually throws a lot of the logic for a loop as well.
Okay, Riley's picking up the skull. Oh no, he's turning
Setting
time of day to midnight. For those the Ganon's outside of Ganon's castle can only exist on the midnight version of the map. So walking there will always set the time to midnight.
I think that was a safety net. I think he saw the sky as he was walking through Fury Forest, Lost Woods, and was like, you want, like, too much of a risk. He has to talk to Malon and get through the text in time to pick up the egg, so that he can get that one. This is just safe.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. And setting it to midnight, it's the time of day is gonna turn to morning before you get to Sleeping Talon anyway. While you're walking there, so yeah, there's a good safety net. As you see, Bonooru dipping Zora's Domain. I think this is a good play with that scale. Could
And
very well
seeing
have
a
something.
big raid coming in from ZSR Main. Courtesy reminder, please don't spoil us on the outcome of that race, because we've been over
Please
here.
do not. Please do
Don't
not.
spoil.
No spoilers about that in this chat, please. Save that for our Discord.
You're all joining at a point where we don't know too much about the seed just yet, but we do know that we've seen 4 Dodongo's Cavern Way of the Hero hints already.
One of them won. Thanks, Drew.
Wow, spoiler.
Well, it wasn't a tie? Okay, so looks like Domain, at least as a child, nothing in it. And Bono is going to scale dive his way over to Lake Hylia.
Get our letter check. What was that? That he's not going for it, so it's not important.
Might have just been a bloopy. Riley making his way up to the lullaby check. Was that a Epona song or Minuet? I can't
That is a
remember.
bonus.
Okay, that was Epona's. Okay. He'll be grabbing those, and I'm assuming he'll be heading to Lon Lon Ranch soon after, so he'll pick up his Minuet as well.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Riley at this point is whether or not he goes to Gerudo Valley.
Yeah.
Generally speaking now, I think the consensus seems to be that Gerudo Valley is not a particularly strong play. Doing Gerudo Valley has become the risk, and skipping it is kind of becoming the standard.
And after that early adult kind of not panning out, really, he really didn't get much of anything that made his run quicker. So you may want to make a play like that if he's if he feels behind after that early adult.
Yeah. Plus, this will also get him into Zora's Domain in a bit of a thorough 3-song.
You know, this
We
could
know
be
what-
why he didn't go river as adult. He was just planning on heading there as a child and getting beans anyway.
That's fair. Actually, he's seen the bomb bag as well. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that
he-
could
he
just
knows.
be an attempt at routing efficiency.
Yeah, a nice little Deku stick jump slash to skip moving both blocks to jump the moat. One of the simpler tricks to learn when getting into Rando. A nice little time save.
Costs you 10 rupees, but the amount of time it takes to get 10 rupees is Not
Bono
very important.
planting a bean in Lake Hylia is he doesn't have that hook shot yet. It's a good move without the hook shot, but as we know, hook shot will be readily available very quickly here for Bono. Normally, if you didn't find hook shot, if you can't find a hook shot and you want to do adult like Hylia, you need to plant the bean to reach the adult fishing and top of the lab without a hook shot.
It's actually interesting to me that Bono bought 3 beans, because generally runners tend to be a little bit cautious on that. Like, you tend to think,
Oh, there's our Cackway of the hero.
No,
We knew it was
Way
coming,
of the Hero
yeah.
Village is Way of the Hero
Oh,
today. Oh,
hello.
and strength there.
Strength is in Hyrule Field in the Grotto of Destiny. That's our destiny today.
But, yeah, like, generally, if runners are playing really, really safe, they're 2 or 3 beans. 1 tends to be enough. Bono got 3.
Yes, you are right, Sponge. That is a huge find. That with the bomb chews and now that strength upgrade, you can very easily clear Dodongo's cavern. It's probably where he will go once he goes adult, I'd imagine.
That definitely seems the most likely play.
And Bono heading over to grab his hook shot while Riley
Picks
grabs
up
his
Minuet.
minuet. That's gotta not feel good though. Like right now, picking that up, if you think your opponent may have gone an early child route, then picking up that minuet doesn't feel good.
Right, this is exactly the thing about the warp songs. 3-song is efficient because you pick up those warp songs. Riley walked all the way over there. Bono's just going to get to warp.
No, we'll find out soon here if Riley will walk over to Gerudo Valley. That play can be made. I've seen it done after checking the back of the ranch, just walking your way all the way out and over to Gerudo Valley.
I think it was timed, and it's like if you walk perfectly on each route, it's something like 2 seconds faster to walk there from Lon Lon Ranch than it is from Kokiri Forest.
Yep. And that is he looks like he is skipping Gerudo Valley, picking up his ZL with that minuet play to grab the Saria's song check. Bono makes his first trip to adult. He'll get his medallion
where were those
checks.
shoes that Bono picked up earlier?
Those were on Target in the Woods.
Okay, so Riley is likely to pick those up soon.
Almost certainly. I think that we'll find that in a minute or two here.
Bono definitely with the edge right now, though. Done a lot of those out-the-way checks that it's going to take Riley a long time to get back to. And Riley's only just about to pick up the chews, so... But they're both kind of covering each other's tracks right now, but Bono has a little bit on top of that.
But is going to have much better time efficiently routing the checks that Riley did and didn't do.
Right.
Because of ZL. Riley's going to dip over to River first here. Let's see if he ends up going back to Target in the Woods.
I guess this is to buy the beans?
Yes, it's definitely to buy the beans. But does he go back to Forest afterwards? It's a question.
It would probably be fine if he doesn't, actually, because he can just leave here and go straight to the graveyard and plant the bean there for the bombs. So he won't actually lose much from it.
That's true. Yeah, because he's going to be getting a bomb bag from it, so he'll get explosives one way or another here. So we're in a bit of a lull now that runners are sort of retracing the other runners' steps as what normally happens in these races. It could be interesting to see what Bono does. It really depends on what item or items, since we're going to find multiple items in Dodongo's Cavern.
Oh,
Ooh,
Silvers.
that's a big one too.
that is very big.
That's Cax got its third item in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one was bomb locked, so Riley did not get it. We'll
But it
probably
is
get it
in
fairly
logic.
soon, but yeah.
We've got Stackerico here.
Mhm.
He picks up his light arrows too. So with Strength 2 and 2 items being picked up in Dodongo's Cavern, potentially thinking like you thinking maybe a bow probably in Dodongo's Cavern. Maybe a hammer.
I was going to say hammer. With that graveyard way of a hero, you've got to assume the bombs lock the 3 strengths, and so you have to get bombs to go into Dodongo's Cavern to get your hammer.
Yeah. I think also I think Rudo's letter has got to be found sometime relatively soon too, with Nocturne being necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, I see that being available sooner rather than later.
Oh, we may see a 10. Or is Riley gonna get to 10 skulls here? I don't think so.
Yeah,
It's
he can get there
6.
exactly. If he climbs up the tower, he will get to exactly 10. And it looks like, yeah, that is the plan here. Check 10 now, and then I wonder if he'll get any more after that. Maybe the risk isn't to skip skulls, it's to rush them.
We'll see what it. Well, these are some of the most efficient skulls to grab in the game. The 5 and
the
Kakariko
5
as
of them right
child.
here.
Yeah,
And
And
this
there's
tower
also
one
that
is
balance of all of the goodies we've seen in CAC, but 20 is still unhinted, and it is included in that Kakariko checks pool.
Another
Could be hinted at with that way of the hero.
another note about the hints. Since there are 40 hint stones in the game, we have 7 checks are always hinted. That's 30, 40, and 50 skulls. The Big Goron check, the Frog Ocarina game, Skull Mask, and Ocarina of Time. We also have 5 Way of the Hero hints and 3 Baron hints, which is
Foolish.
another 8. Yeah, Baron and or Foolish, which leaves 5 what we like to call sometimes hints, which are singular annoying item checks in the game that are selected randomly to be hinted. And one of those is 20 skulls, so we could see a 20 skull hint at some point. We've seen a couple of them already, though. We've seen the left hand of the Colossus. We've seen Darunia's dance.
I believe it was right hand Colossus.
It
Oh,
was
was it
left.
right hand of the
It was
Colossus? Right
left.
hand.
It was left.
Was it left? It was
Yeah,
one of the hands.
I've got left
Colossus.
wrist.
Okay, I would have sworn it was right, but I could definitely be mistaken on that.
And we do have 4 of those hints already, so there's only 1 left.
So,
Did you get
I-
Darunia?
Yeah, Darunia, Shoot the Sun, Ice Cavern, and Left Hand of the Colossus. By 4.
Yep. So we've got 1 more of those hints left, and then the rest of the hints we need to pick up are those always hinted things, and I believe we have 1 Way of the Hero left to find and 2 Foolishes.
1.
1 Foolish.
Yeah. We got
I've
Zora,
got Fire Temple.
Fire.
What else?
Zora Fountain.
Okay, thank you. I did not see that one. So as far as hints go, the runners
and
have
for
picked
the
up a lot
limit
of.
on that, only 1 dungeon region can be hinted as foolish. Multiple can end up being foolish. They can not have stuff, but only 1 can be hinted under the hint distribution used in the turn.
Yeah, so we're
So
not going to
whatever
learn any more
our
of
third
those.
foolish region is, it will not be a dungeon region.
And up to 2 temples or dungeons can be hinted as Way of the Hero, which we've got both of them already as Dodongo's Cavern and Dodongo's Cavern. Ooh, missing the flame storage on Riley's side. He's gonna have to go back and grab it. So what Riley's doing is a trick known as flame storage. As you can see, he puts as he's putting the stick away, if the stick brushes the fire, the game is going to record it as being a lit stick as you put it away. As you see, he pulls it out here, and it's already lit. This allows you to extend the area in which you can bring a lit Deku stick to, which happens to be these torches in the outer portion of this of Composer's Grave here. Riley trying to do, and unfortunately missed it again. Wouldn't normally be able to do this without this trick.
Yeah, normally I think if you miss this at the start, like Riley did, where you just get halfway along, realize the stick isn't lit.
He's nervous.
Yeah, for sure. I think if you get halfway along at that point you're like, okay, whatever, I'll walk back up, relight. Once you get into the other room, you tend to just be like, all right, we're done. That's it. I'm not going back.
If you wonder why he's not pulling the stick out later, it's because if he goes any further than he's going before he pulls out the stick, the torch will be unloaded, and the torch has to be loaded for this trick to work.
Right, that was why it failed the third attempt.
And do want to point out, that is a glitch. It is a glitch permitted under standard, but it is a glitch, and therefore, one of the other common rule sets raced for these random races is glitchless ground jumps. It is not permitted under that racing rule set because it is a glitch.
Yes.
But we have a handful of glitches that we permit in our races for standard. And that's one of them, because it doesn't have any drastically game-breaking implications. It's just really a nice convenience.
Is that our second Kakariko hint?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so.
Okay, so we may get a double-double, a double Dodonga's Cavern double Kak, because we've seen a lot of things in Kak already. So
true enough. And Riley picking up Song of Storms out at Wasteland.
Ooh, that's
and
not
welcome,
bad.
ZSR3.
Thank you for hosting
Oh,
ZSR3.
well, there's a bow.
Bow, baby.
Oh, wow. That is...
Bonooru picking up a bow out at DC. One of our minimum two major items that we will find out there based on hints.
I was going to say, that's kind of a weird way of a hero, because there isn't usually that much locked by the bow. So the odds of the other two bows both being bow locks are pretty low. If that is one of them, then this is going to be a very... well... this is going to be a seed where they're hunting down those last few items for a long time. If that isn't one of them, this DC has everything they need.
And gotta love that Forest Temple starter kit he's got. Bow, hook shot, minuet, and already up to strength 2, which exceeds the strength 1 that you need. He can, in fact, full clear that last stone dungeon, which is one of those things that you're gonna be weighing in your head. Do I commit to the stones? I've got all this stuff, I can do a bunch of checks here.
I mean, it's possible
or do you
that
try and focus on known progression.
Possible bomb bag may not be way of the hero in Graveyard. And I don't even think Bono knows. Bono hasn't been to Graveyard yet at all. Oh no, did he? No, he did.
Bono's gone as an adult, yeah.
He has to have seen the bomb bag up on Graveyard Ledge then.
They also both got Requiem, which... so, I won't go into it too much, but for those who know the randomizer, and for those who don't, Spirit is stupid. Just the logic for Spirit Temple is
convoluted.
Let's go with convoluted. That's, yeah, okay. Yeah, Spirit's key logic has some quirks to it, and one of those things is that you cannot beat Spirit without logically having every single key. Which means, if there is a single key on...
hello, Boomerang. That's a way of the hero item here. I think, yeah. Yep. That is a necessary item in this seed.
Oh, yeah.
Boomerang is the only way to clear Jabu Jabu's belly in our rule set.
Bridie, meanwhile, is going to climb Spirit as child. This is definitely a risky play. This is a... I'm unfavored, I'm doing something out of the ordinary.
Yeah, because everything else he's getting here, at least once he gets magic, is clearable as an adult. There are a couple checks where if magic is stuck on, was it compass chest in here? Or is it map chest?
Map, I think, yeah.
If magic is on the map chest, then he has to get this as a child. So that could help. Oh, what's he doing now?
Was he getting the skull and leaving?
Oh, he has no explosives.
Of course, he can't get out.
He can't get through that room.
And he got another key, so he didn't reset it away. He saved before going up there, just in case there was no extra key to replace it.
That's gotta hurt, though. Not being able to...
Where is he? Oh, they both get a wallet.
Yeah.
Gross.
That's...
Okay.
That's spooky.
That's very spooky if we don't find another Way of the Hero and we find out that that bow is not Way of the Hero.
Yeah.
There's a few things. There's two things that two wallets opens up. One of them is purchase of Zora's tunic, which is just to get I believe it's just a central pillar check in Water Temple, which could be needed for a small key or boss key. The other check for double wallet is that's
Never
not
mind.
true anymore. Never mind. It would be if Rudo's letter was on Unfreezing King Zora, but we just found Rudo's letter.
So that's actually pretty big for I actually, is it that big for Riley?
Yeah, with Song of Storms on Requiem, it's not huge. Depends on if he gets. It depends. I don't know.
Oh wow! And
Ooh,
a
there's
hammer
a
in
hammer.
Dodo's cabin. That's
That's big.
definitely it. Yeah. So we've definitely seen two Way of the Heroes here. Hammer and Boomerang, no questions asked. Both.
I mean, I wouldn't put Riley too far behind Bono right now, but we're talking maybe like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, also for the record, the bow could still be Way of the Hero. It's just, if another bow is found, then it's not. And the hammer and the boomerang definitely are.
And Riley picking up those chews now.
And there's the feel bad for Riley picking up those chews after all this time. So actually, given what we were saying earlier about like the number of items they'd need and how long this scene looked from the dungeon layout, they're like combined 3 items away at this point. Arguably 4, but we know where the bomb bag is.
And we've got a lot of the things that we need.
In a weird way, though, this actually might be good for Riley, I think. And it all depends on one big thing right now, which is exactly... I've spoken to a lot of people about how people will play when they're favoured, how people will play when they're unfavoured, that kind of thing. If Bono doesn't go back to that Kokiri Forest Grotto anytime soon, this could be exactly what Riley wanted. A
Okay,
relatively
chat,
fast
we
siege,
are
with just
having
a couple of kind of out the way.
with our call
That's
right
another shield.
now. You can hear me. The people in call with me cannot hear me. So, comms are gonna go down for just a moment and then come back. Can you guys hear me now?
Hello, hello?
Okay. Sorry, Yoshi, you weren't reading Discord. Nobody could hear me. Well,
No,
chat could, because it was, OBS was picking up my mic, but Discord wasn't, so...
There we go.
Was I the only one coming through? That was
Yeah.
I don't.
bizarre.
I couldn't hear anybody else.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know if chat was hearing me or not.
I wasn't hearing you until I rejoined the call either, so...
I
I was hearing Yoshi, though.
There's a mirror shield in Goron City
Yeah,
boulders.
We saw
Oh my!
that.
Oh wait,
that
he had
was,
mirror
that was
shield
nice.
too. I did not see the mirror shield.
Yeah,
Yep.
with 2 items from...
He got magic too. So like that's Jesus is looking jet.
Yeah.
This is crazy
well,
fast.
I roll 2 kinds of seeds. Everybody knows it.
Like, yeah, the point I was just making was, like, saying about an unfavored player in someone like in Riley's position right now, the thing that you want isn't a really long seed, because then generally the player with a better execution will win. And you don't want a really short seed, because then everything's en route and the player with the better execution will win. You want something kind of fast, but with just enough things just out the way that you have to go and find them.
Just a few little twists.
Right. Bono not having that letter might really come back to bite him at this point.
It depends. I mean, so now he's got the ability to, if he wants to clear forest, he can. But with only, I don't know. With him, he's looking for 3 items now. He needs specifically hovers, long shot, and rudos, I think.
Yeah.
So with 3 items left, I don't know if he dips forest. That seems like a pretty risky thing to do.
I'm
Riley,
very
don't
nervous
read
if
people's
Riley...
mail.
I'm very nervous if
rude.
Riley decides to dip into Jabu looking for that boomerang, because we know it's not vanilla.
Right. Yeah. So I mentioned before we started on commentary today, Riley. I mentioned earlier that Riley was feeling really confident up until a practice race yesterday against What the Hell's Happened, and that kind of shot his confidence completely. The killer there was that What the Hell's dipped into the first chest in Jabu that locked half the seed, and Riley didn't. And so 2 hours in, Riley's there with like 3 items, and What the Hell's has finished.
Oh, so we're
There is
worried
a-
recency bias is going to come into play.
Oh, yeah.
That mistake is
Absolutely.
going to stick in his memory.
Was Requiem on Composer's Grave?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, they both picked it up basically simultaneously.
Oh wow, second
Well, there's
magic.
the other
Okay.
magic.
That was okay. That was in DMC locked by explosives or
Also
hammer
explosives locked, yep.
Yeah.
or hammer lock. Oh yeah, and hammer was explosives locked. So yeah.
Mhm.
Unreal speed so far. I mean, again, I think it would be pretty difficult, I think, for Bono to miss the Rudo's letter, though it is possible. That is kind of a one-off check. The Storm's Grotto and Kakiri Forest. He may not go back. He may not go there for a while. But I think for Riley's sake, he's gonna want hovers or long shot to be pretty well hidden too, and in some random location that he checks.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we do still have that Graveyard Way of the Hero, though it could very well just be for those bombs. What if it's in Sun Sangre?
Oh my.
That
Then
would be
it's a big
pog.
yikes.
Nope, there's a Song of Storms for Bono. We'll see what he ends up doing with that, but I think he tries to clear Spirit right now.
Probably, yeah.
At least see if you're key locked. Very possible, because we found 2 keys on Child's side. There's only 3 left in the dungeon. And one of them would have to be on an adult check. One of these first 2 adult checks. For Bono not to be locked out.
I think logically one of them has to be here, actually. One of those quirks of spirit. Because everything, the rooms that Riley checked are locked by either 0 or 1 key. Other than these 2 adult checks, everything else is locked by 3 or more. And we only saw 2. So I think there has to
Oh.
be one in these opening 2 as
I
adult.
hate Spirit. I hate Spirit, man. I've given up on trying to understand Spirit. I'm very glad you get you get it more than I do.
Oh, apparently I'm wrong, so I don't, but...
Yeah, that didn't sound right to me, but I didn't want to correct you without anything to back it up. Especially with that possession of magic and Dins, we do have access to, say, the map chest, which needs one key from either side to get to it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Riley is going to go pick up explosives.
Going to grab his bomb bag and probably head straight to Dongo's cavern.
I can't see where else he would go from here.
And that will lead him to Goron City. So he is about 5 to 10 minutes behind Bono in terms of routing.
Yeah, there was a key.
And he does have the Rudo's Ladder turned in already too, so he's going to pick up a little bit there. Mm-hmm. He didn't check Grotto of Destiny. He needs that strength.
Oh, that's
more
true.
Than likely.
Yeah.
So he's got to find some way to route that back in.
Get this one
but
here.
But he is about to get the strength from right here.
I don't know why he didn't check Grotto of Destiny on his way here.
That might just be an autopilot thing.
Yeah, wanting to preserve those chews, even though you are on your way to pick up bombs.
Oh, Bono found a key. Mm-hmm. Bono can keep going in Spirit.
Oh wow, that's all of the keys, because we know that there was one on the left hand.
Oh yeah. So now it's just kind of search for the boss key, and Bono can find it. He's gonna find it somewhere here. He'll be able to clear a Spirit here. Oh, Riley is not ignoring 20 skulls.
Oh, did he just grab?
He just opened up the trail wall that has a skull in it. If he was ignoring it, he wouldn't have bothered to use a bomb there.
So Riley is going to get a bow, hammer, and boomerang here. I can only assume
and he's going to feel good
that.
About not tipping Jabu.
Yes, yes.
And he's gonna also pick up the hammer as long as he decides to complete Dodongo's Cavern. Hopefully he doesn't find bow and boomerang and say, "Oh, I've got my 2 Way of the Hero items," and pieces out.
I can only assume he'll keep going.
That would be really risky, and obviously not the right play in this scene.
Like we were talking about earlier, the bow being Way of the Hero, because there's so little locked behind it, the odds of one bow locking both of the others are pretty low.
One thing that might be a thing. Bono had the hammer when he went to DMC, but he elected not to go into Fire Temple. Mm-hmm. It is barren. It is foolish, but it's got to be done. Riley might be able to do it because he has a bottle. He can grab a fairy and doesn't really need a tunic to.
I was gonna say
that temple.
I think the other big thing there is that Riley has bombs. If you know that your fire temple isn't holding anything, you kind of want to get the fast kill on Volvagia. Bono is using choose only, isn't able to get that fast kill very easily. Riley could just stock up on bombs outside.
But he also knows that the graveyard's holding his bombs. So I'm sure he's got his route planned to get those bombs at some point.
If nothing else, he might actually cross over towards Gerudo Fortress after this and buy some bomb chews on the way.
That's true. He's got the money for it. Not many people know there is a bomb chew salesman in Haunted Wasteland. Sells a 10 chews for 200.
Yep, if you do not find a bomb bag, remember that you can use that wallet as a misshapen bargain brand explosive source.
No.
Whoa. That was he was really close. I wasn't sure if he was lined up on the left foot correctly there, but he was.
Almost taking a blow from Iron Knuckle there.
Lens?
Okay. Since that was in Desert Colossus, the only thing that is logically needed is for the chest game in these rule settings.
But we don't have any hints saying that that's, say, potential way of the hero
Yeah.
or anything like that.
So that would be quite the play to go to chest game at this point.
And right, if Spirit Key logic wasn't enough to say it already, though, that does also mean that Requiem is required. Or, again, logically required.
Yes.
Requiem
Sure
has to be the
right.
most feel-bad way of the hero.
Oh, that doesn't feel good. Oh, right, that could be Way of the Hero Graveyard as well. That's...
Well, yes, since Lens was post use of where you would use the lens or needing Requiem, Requiem logically locks that lens today. Not in every
Yep.
seed, but in this one.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes Requiem a Way of the Hero item. Way of the Hero check by logic.
Yeah, whether or not that's what our hint was referencing, who knows, but it is a logically required item today, or song in this case.
Oh, he gets more chews.
Runs
He
out
might
and
just-
then gets the 10 pack again.
Gifted.
He might just go without a bomb bag this seed. That's...
That was impeccably timed as well, because otherwise he had to just leave here and...
There's the boss key.
It is crazy. We are sub 1 hour, and we're seeing, like,
We're so
basically
close.
two items from Go mode, ridiculously close.
Two items from no
Eating
mode.
Spirit. Yeah.
The runners each have more than 2 items to find, respectively. But actually, Riley's gonna be almost. I think he's gonna be 2 items away if he grabs Grotto of Destiny sometime soon. He's about to grab his hammer. He's gonna get Mirror Shield and Magic.
Yeah. I assume that Riley getting that hammer from here will go up towards Fire Temple. Obviously, like we said earlier, it doesn't feel good going into a known barren fire, but you've
When it's
got
been down.
hammer, you've got bombs. It's fast enough to do at this point.
May want to wait until Scarecrow's been confirmed, though.
That's possible.
I
You don't wanna
don't
get
believe
Pierre
I've seen
locked.
either of them go adult lake just yet.
I think you're right on that one.
I think if you're Riley though, you don't. You bank on the boss key not being on Pierre. You bank on not getting locked out by Pierre at this point. Just the way these have been laid out, and especially once he finds what's in Goron City, can't be feeling too confident in just how it's played out for him.
I guess he does have Serenade and Minuet, so it isn't that costly to go to pick up the Scarecrow.
True.
Does look like he's just going to run up there now anyway.
Yeah, I think this is the right play if you're Riley, I think.
I mean, on our end, we know it's going to work out pretty well, because this means he goes through Goron City and picks up...
Right. From
Bono?
our eyes, this is definitely what he needs to be doing.
Bono didn't get the second mirror round, so got all the way up there and
Oh, he had to go back.
just came out, saw there was no light, and was like, "Wait a second, what?" Straight back in.
He lowers the pedestal here to get himself over to Twinrova. We see a new check here, Song of Storms, Grotto, and Death Mountain Trail. There's a second eyeball frog hint. Oh, a second bow. Storm's locked.
That's fine. That was
Storms was out at Requiem.
So yeah.
So that means the bow is not weighted. Bows are not way of the hero, I believe.
Yep, 100%. It was just
Hammer
the
boomerang.
hammer and boomerang. I guess arguably still a wallet, but
Yeah,
we've not seen a Zora tunic yet.
it's pretty manga ass if
Still
I was pointing to a
possible.
wallet. Wow, starting up on Twinrova. One of the more annoying bosses in the game, in my opinion.
In most Ocarina players' opinion.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They can be pretty troll. That's 3 hits, and it takes 4 to get to phase 2. There it is. A good phase 1 for sure.
Yeah, great.
Better ones I've seen.
And Riley heading towards the mirror shield in order to enable him to go and fight
And
Twinrova.
And magic.
That too.
So at that point, I guess you beat fire while you're here because you don't know when you're getting your Bolero.
Oh, there was our other sometimes hint. Prelude at Forest.
So helpful.
Very.
Love it.
You mean people don't want hints for things they've already done?
Great Twinrova fight for Bono.
That was incredible. That was actually really clean there.
Yep.
They do, yeah. These runners do have to make their way to Ice Cavern, and remember that you need Nocturne.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sooner or later. But both of them lacking those hovers, there isn't a real strong rush for that just yet. There are other options for where to go looking for things before you dip Shadow for those 2 checks and hope that they're vanilla.
Bono looked at the item on Twinrova, right?
Yeah. It was a bundle of arrows. As far as Ice Cavern goes, I actually think, and this, I don't know how popular an opinion this is, this might just be me, not like an actually good thing to do, but I actually quite like the idea of dipping into Shadow for the first 2 checks if you know you're going to warp somewhere else anyway. So, going to Ice Cavern kind of fairly soon when it's nearby, which it will be for Riley after this. He's already turned in the letter, he can leave Fire and just go through Goron City to Lost Woods, to Zora River, to Ice Cavern.
Especially since he doesn't have Strength 2 yet, so he has no reason to try and do Spirit until he gets that. So yeah, that seems like a good play for him.
And then after that, I assume he'll go back to Child to do Jabu next.
Yes, agreed. I think that's a. We'll see if he chooses to do that first, but I would hope he heads over to Ice Cavern after Fire Temple here.
This is kind of one of those, again, differences between runners is how much do you push your required dungeons. I think most people generally agree that progression is very important. Like, you should do your progression almost as soon as it's available. The question is how much does almost carry you there? And
so what we see, sorry to interrupt. What we see Bonooru doing right now is a little trick called Reverse Wasteland.
as many that coming from many coming from a casual background of OOT, you know that to cross the desert forward, you normally grab Lens of Truth, you check, and the ghost will guide you through the route to get you to Desert Colossus. That route is there. It's the void zones don't change, or they're not like they're all there. And if you know the way to walk your way back through missing the void zones, you can walk directly reverse on that route to go to Wasteland, and then eventually GTG, as we're going to see here.
Right, and that's
Nice little trick.
one of the things I was going to get at there with the point about progression is it's generally, you know, considered your highest priority is beating your required dungeons, but Gerudo Training Grounds is like one of the most check-dense locations in the entire game. It opens up so many checks. Are we likely to see Bono go in here and clear that now? Just in
Gonna buy shoes. I love it.
Buying more shoes, yep.
Makes sense.
He does not plan on getting that bomb bag.
Yep, using that bargain bin discount bomb bag.
There's
Looks
the boss
suspiciously like
fire.
a wallet.
We got a fast fire.
Also, Bono getting that angle there. Just lock onto the crate, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep, doing the naked quicksand crossing. Not using any items for it. Just properly angled movement.
And this is not out of logic to be in GTG. He can get to GTG the forward way with Epona's Son.
Mm-hmm. It's just faster.
It is definitely faster. So while he got there in an illogical way, it is not illogical. Where is that cat coming from? I love it.
That's fine. She just came into the room. Apologies for the disruption.
I love it. I want to pet the cat.
Should I
Because
pet
I'm
the
pretty
cat
sure
for you?
mine's outside somewhere.
Yes. Yes, you have to. Oh, yes. Pet the cat. Oh, man, I love cats.
Anyway, Bonooru picking up that Gerudo membership card. Riley about to slay a dragon.
Have we shouted out our trackers yet?
I don't think we have.
We haven't.
We
Probably
need to
should.
do that. We have a couple of people that
Yeah,
have
we've
been
got Tomoltok and
stellar.
Silver here, making
They've-
sure we know what's happening.
They have been stellar at keeping up with our items this seed. There they are. Thank you guys so much for tracking the items for us. You've been on the ball.
So it just got pointed out in chat there. Bono went to do Gerudo Fortress and like full clear the Gerudo area.
Good
And
kill on Volvagia.
Didn't confirm his Scarecrow song, so he can't actually check the rooftop chest.
Ooh, that could be something. Ooh. God, I wish I was this good at horseback
Yeah,
archery.
we got that swag Euro aim there.
I was gonna say, is this what happens when you run like OOT as a speed run for however many years?
Well, I mean, we know what
That
the
is-
NA aim looks like, but Bonooru is one of our European players, so he does
That
not
is
have
so
that NA
hard.
aim.
Yeah, I was-
It makes it look so easy, but
Mhm.
the dead zones on the controller in Ocarina of Time are really annoying, and the sensitivity of the aiming, that takes such a touch to do what he is doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say this race is French versus French Canadians, so
Yep. So this is non-American race. That's why their aim is so good.
Well, Canada is still part of North America.
Canada is still NA. That is true.
I mean, actually, yeah. To be fair, given that the whole point of that was that ATZ's aim is really bad, and he's
And he's
also
Canadian.
Yeah. So-
It's all about where you live. It's how your aim is in this game. So, definitely Bono has a lead right now, but there are some little things that Riley has done that if Bono doesn't do, especially Rudo's letter, A
Yeah,
quick
getting
catch up.
and already turning in that Rudo's letter is the
Yeah.
one real edge Riley has right now.
It's all going to be about when Bono routes that in.
And I guess the other question here is if Bono finds something in GTG. Because if there is nothing here, well, Riley's in a really good shape if he gets away with skipping it. If he finds his go mode without ever going near GTG, then that is a huge chunk of time that he's
Yeah, that's
saved.
like 15 minutes. Well, maybe it might be 15 minutes for me. I'm not sure if it's 15 minutes for them.
Lost Woods was the last foolish location.
Oh, was it? I didn't see
Riley just found it at the top of.
Oh.
Well, good thing he didn't find it before doing Target in the Woods to pick up those shoes.
If Bono finds that, though, that's almost less reason for him to go back to the Kokiri Storms Grotto. Because, like, you know, say he picks up Saria's song somewhere, and well, I don't know if that's going to happen this seed, but
Yeah.
that he's not going to have any reason to want to go back to Lost Woods if he finds out that's foolish.
Right, the time that you would walk through that area is on the way to turn in the letter or to go to Ice Cavern. He's not going to do that if he doesn't find the letter that's there to begin with.
Yeah, he's going to have to just make that choice to go to the one-off check.
I guess he gets Child Goron City at the same time, so there's a handful of checks he could go through to get there, but even then, that's
Yeah, if you save Orbaz's child back to your house, it's not too inconvenient to go there. On your way to any of the
More
other
bomb
shortcuts.
juice. That was the 20-pack. He is set.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna worry too much about that graveyard bomb bag.
Oh, here we go. Riley is indeed going to Ice Cavern.
I want to see what else is out there, if anything.
Let's see.
Saw
if
Fountain
maybe we
was
find our
foolish,
long
so...
shot. Oh, yeah, it'd have to be in Ice Cavern itself.
oh, King Zora.
Or King Zora, yes.
Does he only have one bottle? Yeah, I think he only has one bottle. So that's the only bottle in the run is Rudo's letter so far.
Yeah,
Right, there was one in
40
Spirit.
is available, but
Oh, there was a bottle in... Oh, there was a big Poe
Yeah,
bottle.
Bono got a big Poe bottle in Spirit, but Riley
but
can't get
hasn't
there
emptied
yet.
it yet.
Also that, yeah.
So it is going to be a one bottle Ice Cavern, which is not the best feeling.
Yeah, it's not great, but better than putting it off.
Yes, agreed. Have we found our fifth way of the hero yet?
Nope.
Nope. Does he?
You know, we all know it's going to be another Kakariko one, or
What if it's
That's the
Kakiri?
suspicion, anyway.
if it's Kakiri, then that's huge for Bono.
Yeah.
I
Well, we
wonder
also
if
found a
Riley will
slingshot
check the hint stones out here at the
Oh,
fountain
we
while
found
he's out
multiple
here.
slingshots though. Yeah, the slingshot's not way of the hero in Kakiri Forest, so yeah, that would only be pointing to Rudo's.
But then we also know the Iron Boots are in Death Mountain Trails, so it could give us that still. Goron City for the Mirror Shield is an option. Wherever the hovers and the Longshot are.
I'm wondering if one of them's here going to be here in ice.
That would be huge. That would be...
If he gets hovers in here, that's Shadow Temple access. With
And that's another song.
Mhm.
Shadow being our forest medallion today.
Could be Saria's, but Saria's we know is not going to do anything.
And Riley has the items for Jabu as well, so can go and get the other song, which is Bolero, so still not much.
Yeah, so our songs are non-consequential at this point, especially for Riley.
Riley just
was
picked up
already
his
cleared fire.
15th skull just there, so he is still working towards 20.
Yeah, he'll pick up the other 2 here in Ice Cavern. 2? Yeah, 2. Get himself up to 18.
That'll get him to 17.
Sorry, math.
As we've already established this stream, I can't math, so.
I can't do that.
So
That's okay,
used
if you
to
calculate
season
the
1 and
roll,
2's
I get
10-minute delay that I just set the timer for 8 minutes, not even thinking about the fact that we have extended the delay up to 15 minutes for this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And so my timer should have been for 13, and I forgot. Apologies.
Gold scale.
scale.
Oh,
Interesting.
Well, that's logical diving in the lab.
Yeah. I don't think I'm very confident we haven't seen that just yet. Because, not going and, chatting with Pierre.
Long shot,
but
GTG.
long shot in
okay.
GTG. And that is hard required today because Water Temple is one of our medallions.
That's rough for Riley.
Yeah.
And it's
Now
in
he's
the
gonna have
maze
to go
as
to
well.
GTG too.
Mm-hmm. It's late in GTG as well, so he will go in, clear most of it, and then get the long shot towards the end. So it's not even like, if it was his last item and it was like one of the first 2 or 3 checks, fine, he goes in, he finds it, he leaves.
Mm-hmm. Now he's gonna be going. There's no way you do. What was it, like 3 keys into the maze? No, you don't do that until you've gone the entire loop around GTG. Ever. So we're 1 item away from no mode.
Yeah, just those hovers.
Mm-hmm. And
We
if
could open the
hovers
bet.
are in
We
that
wanna-
re-dead grave, then
You want to open
Oh,
a bet
goodness.
for hovers?
yeah, I can do that. Give me just a moment.
Oh, now Bono can go and get the rooftop chest as well. Long shot. I guess anything in GTG got there as well. Hovers would also have done it, but
Yeah.
having something in there was perfect for this.
Bono's routing has just been really nice. It's really worked out for.
I love that the bet opens and immediately there are 3 bets of Re-Dead Grave.
Re-dead grave.
Yep. Just immediate.
For those new to the channel, I don't. The bets aren't for. These are just fun bets, right? There's no like actual anything.
And there's nothing on the line besides bragging rights.
Really, like there's no money prize from Trez or something.
Especially not over here on ZSR2.
Yeah.
Our sub count is currently 2. We're a goodly ways away from our sub goal.
I'm gonna guess Bono saw nothing there. All I saw was the explosion, and then that was it. He was gone.
Yeah, he would have been making his way over.
I don't know how people see things like that. I did not.
Did he see what was in the waterfall there?
I don't think so.
It's too far away, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Surely.
think he can
Right?
be close enough to see that he's walking over for sure.
Yeah, there we go. Long shot.
Unless he did see it and he wants it. Oh. Just
That's
use
just
the
money. And I don't think he's all too worried about rupee routing in order to buy more bomb shoes with that pile of 36 sitting right there.
Yeah.
That's our second graveyard hint. So we've got 2 of each so far, but no 5th.
Riley looks like he's gonna unthaw King Zor before he leaves here.
I would plan on that, personally. I would investigate that. You just don't know at this point.
Riley's got to find his way over to that Grotto of Destiny. That's a big deal for him.
Right.
Pick up that strength too. There's the other Lost Woods. And kind of nasty locations for that.
And not going out to check the hint stone by the fairy fountain.
I think that's a fine choice.
Bit of a trek for it. Only missing... I assume Riley's only missing one hint as well, because we've seen so many copies of everything.
Yeah. Just some love. Zora loves you for unfreezing him. Oh, there's the boss key and water temple.
Nice early boss key for water. First
Probably
check.
doesn't go any further.
Yeah, I don't think so. Not with as many options on the table as there are, and how few items there are inside of Water Temple.
Yeah, and
There's
everything
7
is so
keys
annoying.
and 3 items.
Not a fun location to plunder.
Wait, is it 4 items?
I think it's 4 items as far as I'm aware. Unless boss key is one of them.
There's the 6 small keys, the 1 boss key, and then 4 items. I don't think it's 4. I thought it was 3. Because in
I think it's 4. We're getting a lot of people in chat saying 4. But all of them are annoying to check. It is not a fun location to check at all.
And most of it is just keys.
Yeah, you pretty much just find keys every single check.
Yeah, I think if you're going to check water, you go straight to the ones that are key locked, because only one of those could be a key. The others have to be actual checks. A small key, I should say. We know where the boss key is, so obviously that can't be that now, but one of the others could be normally. Yeah, in this situation, I think if you go back in, you do just those, and then you leave. That's it. You don't care about the other checks, because most of them are keys.
Now, Riley is dipping Shadow without the hovers, which gets you 2 checks.
He's looking for those vanillas.
You usually have to go back to these 2 checks anyway, so it's not a bad idea to check it while you got the ability.
Yeah, and just warp away afterwards anyway.
Yep.
Which I guess means going back to do Jabu at this point?
Yeah, I think he's heading towards Jabu.
That'd be my guess. Warping back to Temple of Time to do an age change.
Grotto of Destiny might be awkward for him.
I actually think there's a decent chance he might get it here, if only because... Oh, actually no, because he'll probably head up towards the Castle Ferry rather than leaving towards the boulder.
I think he clears Market here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just which way he goes after that. Yeah. If he goes out, then...
Oh, he almost warped. he reconsidered and is now going to clear Market.
Yeah, actually, yeah, a fun thought here. If the hovers are on Bombchu Bowling...
Oh,
Bono would need to pick up that bomb bag.
So the bomb bag is required to get to play the Bombchu bowling game. Maybe one way that Bombchus are not going to help you there.
Yeah. Well,
ironically, Bombchus do not help you in the Bombchu bowling game. That would be huge for Riley. And just
and a lot of nothing. And on adult fishing, we've got a paperweight.
We got Hyrule Castle Ferry being checked now by Riley.
Yeah. We like to joke that the Stone of Agony is a paperweight in earlier versions of Randomizer and under different settings on the current version. Stone of Agony is what allowed you access to read those hint stones, read the hints on the gossip stones. we have since switched over towards a settings preference where the hints are just available without needing an item to gatekeep them. And at that point, the Stone of Agony lost its use.
Yeah, there was some weird logic with that. Like, if 40 or 50 skulls was required, then Stone of Agony became a Way of the Hero item, I think.
Yep, it
Because-
became logically required before that, so that those would not be required without the hints.
Mm-hmm.
Although in the dev build, or I don't think it's been merged in dev, but currently under development are some interesting new uses for the Stone of Agony, so, you know.
Stone of Agony holds down your Gerudo card.
So, by the way, as
Hey,
we
you don't want it to fly away.
as we kind of thought would happen here, Riley went and checked the Castle Fairy and then played Serenade. Hasn't done any of like kind of yet, I don't think, but
Third slingshot on diving in the lab. Inconsequential. Runners won't have problems with slingshot bullets.
So which do you think they're going to get first for each person? The item that the other one has that they need. In Riley's case, I'm focusing on the strength more because I assume once he gets strength 2, he's more likely to do GTG.
Mm-hmm.
So Riley getting the strength, Bono getting the letter, or one of them finding hovers.
I think Riley getting strength is probably the one most likely to happen, just because of the amount of checks that he can't do because he doesn't have it. Though it's really tough to tell when Bono's gonna do that Storm's Grotto in Kakiri Forest. That can happen at any time, really. He probably does it when he goes back child. He might do it when he goes back child to do do Jabu. He might route that in.
Bono heading back up towards the market, not towards Kokiri at least. Has he turned in that Poe yet? Have we still got that?
I think he's
He's
still
still
holding on
carting
to
it around.
I just get this weird feeling they're both gonna get hovers before they get either the letter or the strength 2.
So here we have the Tektite Grotto being checked, otherwise known as the ATZ Grotto.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Season 1 of the randomizer tournament, he was top seed and knocked out in round 1 due to magic being in that grotto. Or, well, not knocked out, knocked down to loser's bracket. Then he had the ultimate run back and did not lose another match. Walked away,
She'll
tournament
have to
champion.
do again in S3.
Goddamn anime heroes, like, you can't keep them down.
I think ATZ just doesn't like winners round 1 very well. Hasn't really worked out for him.
I think season 2 he stayed in winner's bracket until round 2. Oh, and Bonooru not even keeping that Begoron sword, just resetting it away.
Wait, why?
Where did Bono save?
Save after that Poe, because you have an empty bottle.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Like that's the only way to clear the big Poe from the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a butter knife.
That's the other sword. Nice.
Okay, well, now we know where all the cutlery is, whether we have it or not.
I think you're right, Mr. Mario. It's got to be something with time of day.
He hasn't done Damper yet. Riley did. Bono hasn't.
That still seems odd, considering that he knows he needs to go to ice caverns as well.
Right. We want to clear that bottle.
And Bono... Yeah, actually, he's not going to get another one either, is he?
It has to be a time of day play. It must be for some
He could...
reason.
He could always just turn it in again later. Right now, I think he wants to do... Because it was... I guess
What's
it was
he doing that's
did he
time of
save-
day dependent?
I think he just saved as it was about to turn to night, so he'll go up, get Dampe digging. And then he can just
routing
reset
dig.
back.
Okay, he's routing dig in.
And then he can just reset back, turn in the Poe anyway, re-empty the bottle and go to Ice Cavern later.
Okay.
Oh, is Bono going to do chickens on the way?
Are we gonna see chickens right now?
This is actually a play that I'm surprised we've not seen yet, because...
Nope, no chickens.
Does it feel like we're an hour and 32 minutes into this race? Hour
No.
and 33?
No. This feels like where the runners would be 2.5 hours in.
This is an interesting seed.
I mean, right now it's looking jet, but we still have not found those hovers. Yeet. Yeeting Rudo onto that switch. I have such a problem with those tentacles. For whatever reason, my boomerang likes to shoot off into nowhere.
It does it when... the room I always find that in is when you're in the room with the 4 barriers. Berry? Berry, I think the small ones are. The jellyfish. The room with the 4 berry as well. If you kill the tentacle and then lock onto one of the jellyfish, your next boomerang throw will just go up as though it's still on the tentacle.
But I get it in all 3 rooms. Like, my boomerang has a mind of its own. I don't know why it does what it does. You know, there's also the chance that Riley runs into the 3rd strength. That is quite possible. He may not have to go to the Boulder of Destiny if he runs into the last strength upgrade.
That's true, actually, yeah. We've not had a Way of the Hero hint for either of the location. Oh, well. We did for
high
Kakariko,
reveals.
but we found other stuff in Kakariko. So.
Right. Doesn't have to point to that strength.
So yeah, it's entirely possible that Riley runs into that and just doesn't have to get back
Lucks
for that.
into it.
Yeah.
So you see Bono in bottom of the well. There's a, I would say there's an okay chance that hovers are here.
Bottom of the well, I think the numbers were run on like number of checks for the amount of time it takes. And in terms of perfect execution, bottom of the well has the 2nd highest density for checks. The highest is Deku Tree. By which I mean, you know, the most checks per second.
Just a big 50 in the coffin.
Yep, he is not worried about that right now. And it's
What if
not
he
like
wants
he
to buy
needs to
more
save up
shoes?
for Goron Tunic with those 12 hearts.
Yeah, you can. Runner of Bono's caliber can easily clear any Fire Temple time requirements without that tunic at this point. For those that are unaware, we do have lesser tunic requirements enabled in this seed. That does not mean
That the tunic is required for nothing. The Goron
Just
tunic
its fewer
specifically,
locations.
yeah, specifically the Goron tunic is needed to, I believe, get through the big fire room, the big
no.
lobby room.
The one up.
Those 2 checks, or 3 if you're playing with Token Sanity, those are in logic. It is past the elevator. It
Okay.
is, in the room where you need to push the block down and ride it upwards. that is a timed space that's immediately following the big lava room. Anything
And it is
from that
also
point
required-
onward, and in the boss fight, yes.
Yeah, required for the boss fight. So logically, the seed thinks you need to get a Goron tunic, which you can do with a wallet. You can just get for 200 rupees. But we won't see Bono doing that.
Meanwhile, the Zora tunic is exactly one chest.
Yep.
But if that's a key, then it can cause
Then it
some
is
problems.
logically required.
Well, not in
Probably.
this seed with the boss key in the compass chest. I don't think that Zora tunic's gonna be required at all.
Unless the hovers.
Unless the hovers are in the basement.
Unless the hovers are in there. That's true. Unless the hovers are in the central pillar, or there's a key in there and they're key locked in a water temple.
There are still possibilities.
Yep.
That's the thing. Just because it's only the one check, there doesn't necessarily mean that there's nothing behind that one check either.
Uh-oh. Riley missed a throw there. That's not gonna...
You're running out of time?
Oh,
Good.
Nice.
That was a little bit sketchy there.
One of the worst designed rooms in the entire game, in my opinion. I hate it.
I hate dealing with it. It's not hard, it's just
It's annoying.
unpleasant.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
That's in the well.
Okay, so the saving grace here is, that is probably Riley's next stop. You're already child, it's a lot of checks, Riley is going to go there very soon. The question now is, when does Riley get strength 2, take it to...
There's a bomb bag for Bono.
Nice. Yeah.
So that, I think... Yeah, that is bomb locked. I think. Is it? Was there any key in a bomb lock check? bottom of the
No,
wall?
that isn't locked by keys, because you can just fall through the main entrance anyway.
Oh,
But the only way you can get it without bombs is with Din's Fire, and both magics were bomb locked.
Okay, so yes, so that is an out of logic bomb bag for Bono. But we know where the logical bomb bag is, and so does he. Nice Baronade Riley. This is looking real good.
Really nice, yeah.
Clean as a whistle.
As far as I know, strength in bottom of the well for the basement is not in logic. I think it's a trick, but also
that
strengths
is an
are.
optional trick.
But also,
I am,
seen that
I'm
done.
fairly sure.
strength 2 could have opened magic, but the strengths were also bomb locked, and everything was bomb locked. Oh, that is in logic apparently. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I learned.
okay. So you use the Din's Fire to blow up the bomb flowers behind the rocks, and then you just use strength. Okay. I think that's what you mean by you can get that with Din's, the chest in the basement.
I think
bottom
there
of the
are
well.
bombs around the other side of it. It's one of those weird ones. I've never had that personally, so I don't have that much experience with that one.
Hey,
but I've had-
chickens! We know this says nothing, but let's see what's on chickens.
If this is the last strength
It
upgrade,
might not be nothing. It's nothing that we need. It might still be something useful, although we've already seen Bonooru reset away a Bigoron sword, so...
Yeah.
So Riley just collected his 20th skull and is about to go to do
Ooh, okay,
bottom
so
as well.
He's
He
gonna
might
get
do
20 skulls
chickens.
here.
He might do chickens as well, and if either chickens or 20 skulls, sorry, has the other strength upgrade, that is huge for Riley. It's
Oh,
unlikely that happens, but it would be big if it
Oh,
did.
that's true. Yeah. What if chickens has another strength upgrade? That would be huge for Riley. That would arguably put him in the lead, depending on when he goes to GTG.
It would definitely tighten the gap in this
Yes.
race.
Like,
right
I think-
now, it's really Bono's gonna win this race if he goes to that Kakiri Storm's Grotto soon.
The question is when.
And chat
He
asking,
probably has,
yes,
like-
we did have a winner for the bet. Happy Colored Marbles 89 did bet bottom of the well.
Congratulations. You win our respect.
You win bragging rights.
Also there, Riley not doing chickens, is going into the well, and didn't get anything on 20.
So this will give him his hovers. He probably just goes straight back to Shadow.
Like Bono's spinning on the spot.
He's waiting. Giving us a
Just gotta
show.
let time of day pass.
That's Sunsong, the little annoying thing about never finding Sunsong. Holy crap, Stone Forest did not play a role in this seed. That's a surprise.
Even
Usually
with that early starter kit.
Usually Stone Forest likes to play tricks on us.
Oh, if I was running this seed, I absolutely would have followed that bait.
I was going to say, the funny thing is, it still could. I'm less thinking the strength here, I'm more thinking it could be a really big bait for Bono at this point.
Mm-hmm. That is a huge bait. And that's a very attractive location. Or it's becoming more attractive by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
Bono's up to 15 skulls.
Bono is definitely one of those players where I can just watch like the most normal bit of gameplay and just be like, wow, this is so good. Like, Bono's execution is just outstanding.
Except for moments
I
like
say,
that.
yeah, perfectly timed.
Even ridiculously skilled, sharp execution players do still have those minor flubs.
It happens to everybody.
Mm-hmm. Perfectly ordinary.
Riley getting closer and closer to those hovers.
Yeah, and I guess Bono didn't, Oh, Bono was in here... Was he in here as an adult earlier and couldn't flame
Yeah.
storage?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember they high-fived on their way through here. I
They
forgot
did.
that they were, different ages at the time.
Oh, he's save quit back. Bono might be about to pick up that letter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's definitely. There's no way he's not doing that right now.
At which point the question becomes, they both currently have Shadow to do. Bono has to do Jabu, Ice Cavern, and Fire, while Riley has to go do Spirit, Water, and GTG. And
Although
also,
we know water is quick.
yes,
Unless-
yeah, as
There's
well
also-
as finding strength too. So Bono hasn't done the Kokiri sword chest. Yeah, okay.
He's probably just, you know, wondering where that...
I'm laughing right now. I did the exact same play in a multi-world.
What's he
the other
doing?
day, he's leaving.
Oh my!
Wow.
Oh
Wait,
no!
Well, Riley's still in it!
I think I
Wow.
think Bono will still get this here because he's gonna go
But
towards Child Goron City, presumably. But
But
the
if that
fastest
was-
way to do that is to take a wrong exit, come out
maybe
right
it
next to the
is.
grotto, and then go back in. So
You're right. Yeah, you're right, Xani. I think this is faster. Didn't think about that. That is faster. Oh, he's also getting Wolfall's Grotto too.
yeah, he's just
Okay.
full clearing a lot here. And wait, Oh, he has sword. I forgot he had
He
a
doesn't
sword.
have a. I don't think he has the Lost Woods dead yet, as well.
No, he might not.
But I don't think he has anything else left to clear in Lost Woods that he can do right now, unless he hasn't done the bombable checks.
I think he did.
I think he did save scum to the choose earlier.
Right, yeah, that sounds right.
Oh, he hasn't.
Oh, not this one at least.
Yeah, he was being very frugal with those chews earlier on.
Okay, yep, he's gonna. Yeah, this is. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And he should be aware that this is his go mode.
And Riley, on the other hand, grabs the hovers, so will presumably rush Shadow. I think Bono definitely has the edge here. The one saving grace for Riley would be if Shadow has strength.
You gotta turn in the letter. Oh, he's playing Serenade. Okay.
Yeah, he'll go beat Jabu on the way as well. So yeah, if Shadow has the other strength upgrade, I think that will push Riley towards Spirit, at which point he's going to be out of items. If you can full clear GTG, you probably go to GTG next.
I don't even know if that's going to be enough time. I mean, Bono would have to make some execution errors, I think. Even in that best case scenario, I
think it would be pretty close. So they both have Shadow. Fire is noticeably slower than water, the way it's laid out today. Spirit is slower than Jabu, so it's GTG versus Ice Cavern. That's the big test there.
The time in GTG is gonna be slower.
Funnily
And
enough, this
how
might
long
actually
he
be a question
puts-
of, does Bono empty the big Po bottle on the way to Ice Cavern?
I don't see why you don't. It appears to play into Shadow, which is what Riley needs to do if he wants a chance here.
Yeah, we don't know where the third strength is. If he finds it here, then that's one step closer.
He's still gonna have to route in that GTG though, and it has to be like the next the thing he does immediately after Spirit. Has gotta be GTG.
The only way I see that not happening, and to be fair, I say the only way, this is a pretty likely scenario, is that Riley goes, if it's in GTG, everything's kind of en route, and I've probably already lost, so I'm going to take a riskier play and go to Stone Forest instead. Otherwise, like, if you're going in terms of the most checks, the, like, fastest, like, highest density of checks, I think it's just the right play at that point. And I think Riley will think the same. The question is whether Riley wants to make the technically correct play, or whether he thinks he loses if he makes the technically correct play.
Yeah. Of course, now Bono knows, if he's aware, he knows that he can go mode Jabu, so he doesn't have to do some of the things that Riley did. Same thing with Ice Cavern.
And they've definitely both seen that. Oh, well, Bono has definitely seen that Nocturne hint, right? It was ridiculously early.
Yeah, it was one of the ones behind Deku Tree. Very early on.
I think it was at the outside Temple of Time too.
We haven't addressed that Shadow now that you mention it. Didn't even think about that.
That has not been addressed. I didn't even think about that.
Anyway.
I mean, this is a Nintendo game, so Yoshi's got to be represented in many ways.
Anyway, we've got Riley heading into Shadow now. The one real potential saving grace for him is if he finds a strength in here. Even then, I'm not super optimistic about his odds at this point, but that would definitely help even things up. We've got Bonooru in Jabu right now, go-moding it, as he should.
Yeah, I've realized the other problem in Riley's situation is even if he finds strength here, even if bomb bag, not quite. Yeah, even if he finds strength here, even if he
he doesn't go mode,
rushes through it, he's not gonna clear. Yeah, he's not gonna like go mode the dungeon. He's not gonna skip anything because for all he knows, the long shot could be in the maze at the end. The long shot could be the very last chest.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get to skip anything through all of this.
This is
anything
very rough.
Yeah, Shadow is a very slow and tedious dungeon. If you aren't able to go mode it, and it's very rarely fully go modable.
Yeah, he might not know it now, but the thing that Riley's hoping for the most here is for the boss key for Shadow to be in the very last chest, or the last small key.
Because then Bonooru will have to fully clear it as well.
Bonooru getting launched by a tentacle there. Okay.
There's the boss key.
It's crazy to see. I was going to point out, like, Bono had some kind of shaky execution on that last tentacle, and it's not something you tend to expect from Bono. I wonder if, he's seen that most of these things were early. He's seen how late that letter was. Are the nerves going to have got to him? I mean, I assume the nerves get to everyone, but...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure these... Like, with the caliber of talent that we have in this top 32, nobody is safe. So, I mean, if I'm Bonooru, I feel probably all right, but not like there's a chance that depending on how Yoshi's routing went, that they're pretty close.
Yoshi?
Sorry, not Yoshi. Riley's.
But no, at the same time, yeah, like I agree. Like, I think Bono there's always going to be like some nerves. I don't think Bono is going to be any more nervous given how the seed is played out compared to how he was, at the start of the race.
Yeah, I tend to agree, Cola. Bonooru's routing has been pretty impeccable so far. Not a whole lot that he's done that's been useless. Oh, this trick that... Oh my god, just immediately gets it. I cannot do that for the life of me.
I like doing that with the setup where you kind of lock onto the door, roll back into the switch, and then jump slash onto it and stuff. But to just do it like that and pull out the sword on... Oh my god, ridiculous.
Why he's tops.
That's what comes from years of practice.
I mean, that's certainly not to discourage anybody though. Like as he said at the start of the stream, Riley just started playing Rando last year, April. He has not been playing this long, and he's in top 32 of S3.
Like, it's... Yes, to get to Bono's level, it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time commitment and training, even, like, to get to his level. But that being said, anybody can do this.
Yeah, there's definitely a handful of players in this bracket who all kind of started playing during 2019, and it's crazy to see how far people have come in such a short space of time.
Yeah,
And,
a
yeah,
lot of
Riley's
folks whose names I did not recognize prior to the multi-world tournament. A lot of people getting that bug for the competitive scene.
which has grown
Mm-hmm.
immensely this season. Nice little ladder skip there for Riley. Jumping onto the boat. I'm still surprised that both of these runners were able to avoid forest. I would not have been able to do that. Not entirely.
Interesting. Bonooru's gonna go and do fire first? Does it make a difference here? I guess not really, right?
No. Nah, he's got to do it, so. Once you're in go mode, it just get to the dungeons in whatever way you're comfortable doing. Oh, we could be doing ice. Yeah, it looks like he's doing ice.
Right, he does need to go get Nocturne first, so I wonder if does he leave from here and
He'll do shadow or fire, whichever one. It's more like preference at that point.
yeah. I guess
Ooh.
actually I guess there's an argument that if he does shadow first, he can then save quit back or prelude back, get the song, and if that's Bolero, that actually saves a bit of time. But then if that's Saria's, it loses a bit of time, so it's just that 50-50 really. Alrighty, Riley, like you say.
This is what Riley didn't want, is that he had to go out. He's the back of the maze to try and find the long shot. Or strength 2.
If this is strength, that's no.
Yep.
No.
Not upgrade.
Yeah.
Although there
So
could
now
still be
he's-
something on Bongo.
But at this point, he's done more of Shadow Temple than Bono's gonna have to do.
Yep.
For sure, yeah.
So that's another small time loss that he definitely doesn't want.
No, Riley.
He missed it. It's an NA aim.
Whoops.
Kind
If
of
you want
threading.
to succeed in this game, you have to move to Europe.
To say Riley's just like thread the needle there between the two bombs perfectly.
There's something in the air in Europe that makes you better at aiming.
It's not Europe, it's just France. The UK, or at least most of the UK players that I've spoken to, are just as bad at aiming.
Also, welcome to the 2-hour mark. We
Happy
are
to.
just crossing into.
Remember to hydrate.
Yes. Yes, by now you should have drank, what is it, 8 fluid ounces? I don't remember. Probably indicates that I'm not properly hydrated, but, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is lots of energy drinks good enough? Well, that's close enough, right?
I got some Diet Dr. Pepper over here.
That'll work. Did he empty the Poe? He didn't empty the big
No.
Poe. He's got one bottle.
No,
Oh, but he's go moding it, so
Yeah.
True.
yeah, never mind.
he's just rushing to the end. Yep.
16 ounces. So I should have finished my water bottle. I'm like 3/4 of the way through it. I gotta drink now. Bono might get 230. It's a fast fire.
That
And
is
Shadow
going to be
takes about
really
12 to
yeah.
15.
Fire's boss key was
And the hammer.
in
It's
the
vanilla.
lava room?
It was vanilla.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, seeing a good ice cavern is just...
Unbelievable.
That clean movement.
Bono, I want your skill. Share with me.
Put in as many hours as he has practicing.
I don't think I have that kind of time. I mean, I could forgo sleep just forever. Who needs to sleep? I need to practice OoTR.
Well, if Bono does choose to clear Shadow first in hopes of getting that song, he's going to be sorely disappointed there because we just saw Riley getting that from the Burning Kakariko check.
Oh no, he's dipping water.
Oh, this okay. There is
Could
there
find
is
a
the kind of
strength here.
mindset here of I've seen this from a lot of players before.
It is a reasonable play. We know it's the wrong play in this setting.
Mm-hmm.
There's
He's
also-
not gonna be happy when he finds I was on Boulder of Destiny.
There are a lot of players who will go into something like water, and then as soon as they find their boss key, they'll leave. So Riley might just go through, get the boss key from the first chest, and immediately leave.
I hope so.
I hope he does that too.
Yeah.
I don't want
how
to
does-
see him digging for strength or long shot through ice. Or not ice,
Maybe
water.
maybe he leaves here and does Hyrule Field stuff with Epona, and that could
Yeah.
lead him to the boulder.
Right. For his... Oh, no.
No,
no.
he would have save warped right there.
Yeah. I was going to say, for his sake, I hope he finds the strength before the race ends. Because I know he will be mad at himself for missing that.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, that'd be that would just frustrate to find that out in interview. And hopefully, he'll interview with us.
Yeah, you know I'll be asking the both of them.
God, I cannot quick spin like that.
I wish I
Can't
could.
do it.
See, I'm on the other end of that where I can only quick spin, and then like you try and get me to fight like Bongo Bongo with crouch stabs. I'm just like, no, I'll quick spin with Master Sword in one cycle. Like crouch stabs, that's like a 4 cycle. Good luck.
I only just recently got better at one cycling bongo, and the way I did it was I stopped looking at the screen. I was trying to pick up visual cues, and it was just messing me up. So I went with audio cues, and I just closed my eyes and crouch stab, and
Wow.
it seems to work.
I should try that. My issue is like people have told me the exact like BPM for it. It's like 160 BPM, and there's a whole. I know people have found like playlists of songs that fit 160. So if you crouch stab Bongo Bongo to the tune of Skater Boy, you can get a good 1 cycle on Bongo Bongo. But I have no sense of rhythm whatsoever.
What a
so
great
I
song for
absolutely
that.
cannot follow that.
Skater Boy.
I should pester my best friend. He's a DJ and rather fond of nerdy music, so he can probably suggest something.
I think the other one I was told was I Get Around.
My streams during Shadow Temple are about to get a lot more interesting.
Straight up, if I like, there's no way the VOD still exists. But our first multi-world match, that was a Goron City Way.
Goron City Way of the Hero was our last one. I wonder why. Mirror
But,
Shield
Yeah, I was gonna say our first multi-world match, one of the players had their our mic on, and you can genuinely hear one of our players in the background killing Bongo Bongo, going, "He was a skater boy," like humming along to it, and like.
Hey, you know, whatever works. If that's what helps you kill the boss cleanly, then you know.
That's an annoying boss without the when you have to force
can't
cycle.
one cycle him.
Really... That is so much more of an entertaining way to beat Bongo. Just turn on Skater Boy.
Oh, and we've lost the plot.
Yep.
Bonooru making his way through Shadow right now. Next to last dungeon to complete.
It would be... it seems Riley only checked the first few chests in Water Temple, so that's not too bad. See what he does from here.
Didn't commit to the full clear, thankfully.
So he's gonna do Adult Lake here, and hopefully he goes to Hyrule Field checks after this. Not go straight to GTG. Though straight to GTG will get him the long shot, but not the strength 2.
He goes straight through to GTG from here. He's gonna clear all of Fortress looking. He's gonna clear all of Spirit. Oh, can't clear all of Spirit. That's the problem. But
can't even dip it right now.
Gonna clear absolutely everything on the way, like Wasteland Chest, do all of that. It's just like there was definitely a period of time where we were like, oh, if Riley finds strength here, then he can catch up. There's a chance, you know. It's
I don't think there's a chance.
Slim
yeah,
I think
that threshold at this point.
I think that train's left.
Yeah, this does seem like Bono's race to lose at this point.
That would be quite the loss if he managed to lose this one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I don't think he's gonna sub 230. It's gonna be close. But I mean, he still has to walk all the way to Fire Temple.
Yeah, I guess that's not much of an issue when you've got Minuet already.
Yeah, but it's not. If you had Bolero, I'd say it was more of a chance.
Yeah.
So he sub 230 assists, but this, I mean, he's gonna beat Shadow in probably 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes.
He doesn't have Bolero though, so
Yeah.
he's still gonna have to hoof it out to fire.
Okay, Riley is on Epona, checking Hyrule Field or go straight to GTG. What's he gonna do?
I would assume GTG, but apparently, what do I know?
I was about to say, I think if you're going past them, you check the field ones on the way.
But do you go out of your way for Boulder?
Not gonna go that far out the way, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
And even, to be honest, even if he would, do you even remember that you didn't do it at this point? He might, in his head, be
It's
like,
bought,
that's
yeah.
done with.
Well, at least he's rich. He can retire happy. It's a nice, lavish 500 rupee lifestyle. Oh, he hasn't even done the remote grotto yet. That's right.
Oh god, that opening route, yeah.
Yeah.
If he's checking this, he is definitely... he feels behind. Because there's no way you go to something that you're fairly sure your opponent is going to have done ridiculously
I don't know
early.
though. Like, do you feel behind if you're checking that grotto? I think you skip it if you feel behind. It's like,
I think you don't check it at 2 hours and 11 minutes. Because you're assuming most people do it within the first,
Yeah.
even
You know-
assuming early Deku, like the first 20-30 minutes of a scene.
With the execution level of Bono, I think it's safe as Riley to assume that he does like the early child, the objective safe route,
Mhm.
because he's Bono would rely on his execution to get him through most races.
To be able to make up any lapses due to routing.
Plus, like we say, there's definitely been a wave recently of people doing. Oh, if he that's actually that will send him towards. He's gonna see that boulder and he's going to feel terrible. Oh no, he's just gonna warp. Never mind. Great.
Well, maybe on his way out, he'll
He'll get it on his way out. This is probably faster.
Actually, yeah. When you leave, Epona comes from the right and he'll see the boulder in the background, right?
Hopefully, yeah. Oh, yeah. That it does still depend on if he thinks he's done it already.
Yeah, I feel like it.
that would be my cat screaming. I'm sorry, I can mute myself of just being disruptive again.
I love it. I love it more than not having the cat noise. I love it more than no meows. BGS. The boulder, John, the boulder of destiny has a strength upgrade which he needs for Spirit Temple. Here he goes.
Has remembered get it. Yeah.
Let's see if we get an anger reaction out of this.
I'm expecting he will just immediately Requiem.
Is
and
Riley
hopefully the play after
flick?
that is Reverse Wasteland, but...
that was an angry shield flick for sure.
Immediately Requiem. I mean, technically both of them are 2 medallions away right now, but those 2 medallions are not created equally.
Right, yeah, Riley's also an item away within that, so...
I'm just saying if somebody's just coming in and glancing at the count.
And if you're Riley, you're still going through this temple begging that long shot is somewhere horrible.
Yeah. At this point, Riley wants it to be the Redead grave.
Like at this point, I'd almost go mode Spirit, because if long shot's anywhere in here, you're behind.
The problem with that is that you also then don't do GTG next, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, it is only hope, yeah. Unfortunately, we know that that's not the case.
Yeah. I think the two options that Riley has here, just from Riley's perspective, not knowing what Bono's done, I think Riley's two options are you go mode Spirit and then you go straight to Stone Forest, or you full clear everything and hope that Bono missed one of the kind of slightly more awkward checks. Which there might only have been one of. Now that I
He's
think
not go moding Spirit anyway.
No. Although actually he doesn't have.
I mean, to be fair, we're only 2 hours 15 minutes in, and he's one item go mode. Like, in normal cases, this is a really good performance.
Yeah, the problem will be he does know everything has been just kind of on the beaten path. It's
a
couple of items in Goron City on the way through at the early game, like a whole bunch of items in your Way of the Hero to Dongo's Cavern, a whole bunch of items
he didn't play Skater Boy.
Oh, one away.
I shield flick when I'm angry.
I do angry flicks. I know 10th Doc was actually one of the people who was talking recently about doing it when you're happy. Like, shield flicks are happy, and you slash the chest when you're angry.
I guess for me, shield flick is emotion. It's if I'm angry or if I'm happy or excited.
Yeah, you can have joyous shield flicks or quick spins or angry ones.
And that's mostly when I'm on restream. Then I do more emotional shield flicks.
I was going to say, I don't know if there's ever a happy reaction in Rando. It's just like, okay, where next? The happy reaction is, I'm done.
When I'm angry at an item that's been trolling me an entire seed, I use the item.
The one thing, yeah, actually, shield flicks for me are angry, and getting out my bombs and dropping it around whichever NPC gave me the item means I'm really angry. Like,
or a stone shadow sticks its business in things and locks my bow.
And then Riley getting that, Poe.
Perfectly timed.
So one see where Shadow Temple locked my bow and I used like 20 arrows when I found it.
So that loopy that Riley just got, by the way, that was the chest that Bono had skipped earlier. If
Bono
that had been
that?
something... Yeah, Bono
Oh.
just never jumped down for it. And like, yeah, if there had been something in that, there's no way Bono comes back into that. Not a chance.
That's such a risky thing to do.
I don't think it was intentional. I think it was one of
he
those...
probably just forgot.
It's the weird chest that, like, if you go and do the child climb room afterwards, then when you look at it, it can just disappear and... Yeah, it's an awkward one.
So we're at 219 now, and he's heading into fire, which is going to take a couple minutes. Maybe 230 is possible. He doesn't have BGS, so that's a little slower.
Yeah, he scummed it away to get time of day back. Which I still can't wrap my head around, but you know, I am not a top tier runner.
He used it to get to route in chickens and Dampe dig, I guess.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. It's the efficiently clear things where Big Goron Sword, I mean, I tend to think the value of BGS is a little bit overplayed. I can't tell if that was a cat disagreeing with me.
That was the cat. That was the cat
Very...
something. I can't tell you what, but that was the cat something.
Actually thinks that Big Goron Sword is really valuable and you should always keep it, yeah.
She's just happy because she got squish food. That makes a happy kitty.
Actually, funnily enough, talking about the Big Goron Sword where Bono got it, it would have made it like cause of problems with the time of day, but actually, given that he missed the Bongo Bongo 1 cycle by 1 hit, it would have probably saved time in this, like, the way that things played out.
And also having that extra bottle for ice. Although he did basically just go moded anyway, so I'm not sure how much difference that would have made.
Yeah, it would have
been slightly faster to be able to take.
It would have skipped one glitchless jump. Or not even a glitchless jump. It would have skipped. He used hovers to get to that flame in the second room.
Yeah, I know generally top runners from prelude to dot done is about 6.5 to 7 minutes. So it's kind of from when we see him warp into template time after the boss fight for whether or not
This is going to be so
we can
close.
pull off the sub 230.
Scumming away that BGS might be the difference between sub 230 and not.
At the same time, I guess, like, the argument on the other side of that is, if, you know, Hovers had been on Dampe digging, he'd have been pretty glad he kept that time of day.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think what he did was wrong. Absolutely. I think that was,
No,
that was definitely the right play.
Just a play many of us wouldn't have made, but we
We're
also
just gonna
aren't the
rag
top
him
tier.
We're
He
gonna
is our
rag
sixth
rag
seed
him on
this
his
turn.
choices, because we can. Yeah, it looks like he might miss that 230 by a minute.
Such a good quick kill.
God. Yeah, and Nama, I guess Bono could lose if he forfeits.
Possible, yeah.
Power outage.
You know, just watch Bono somehow, one of the, you know, highest execution runners in a tournament, die to Iron Knuckles on the way up, and then die again to Ganon. And if that happens, then maybe, just maybe.
And that all depends on if GTG is the next play for Riley.
Yeah.
And he skips everything and goes straight into the maze with 3 keys.
I think it was only one key. I want to say it was hidden ceiling.
Or was it just the 1 key?
I think it was hidden ceiling. I think it was right inside. Yeah, if he gets a key in the lobby and then ducks in. I can't remember
That's
what
possible.
the layout was.
I've seen that done before. That is possible.
Unlikely. That's not the most efficient routing, but we'll see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess that would be the risk of, like, if it's in here, I want to save as much time as I can. Like, he would have already full cleared. But then if that's the case, you probably go to Forest next. If you're playing a risky play, just go to the Stone Dungeon.
I'm happy at least that Riley found that strength.
I don't think Riley was happy.
No.
No, yeah.
But at least he found it.
Yeah, I think it's better that he found it and was, like, on his way to the end than if he'd come into the interview afterwards and been like, where was strength 2?
Yeah. He'll ask where long shot was, but at this point he'll be like, he won't be surprised that it's a GTG.
Yeah. Hell, he might have kept playing because the runners, you know, they are on a 15-minute delay. He might have kept playing for those 15 minutes and found it during that time.
Oh, that's possible too, yeah.
I can confirm that once delay catches up, Bonooru is intending to come in and chat with us.
Oh, you're telling me he finished within 15 minutes of now?
Yeah, that is I don't think I'm spoiling by saying, you know, at the point when he's in the tower that within the next 15 minutes he's completed his run. And will be coming to chat.
Does he communicate with Riley once he's finished though? Like Riley can see in the IRC that he finished, right?
I'm not saying one way or another what's happening on Riley's side.
Okay, that's fine. But that he does have access to see the IRC though, so he could see when Bono finishes and might decide to not continue.
That is always a possibility.
Oh, come on, Laws, don't those nasty spoilers. Thought we were going without spoilers this seed.
I just wanted to reassure chat that we'd be able to get to talk to him.
Well, yeah, but Bono could have died 17 times to Ganon. Now we don't know that. And now we know he doesn't.
I think he could probably get back up the tower 17 times in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. Ganon knocked that one back. What's the song for this one?
I don't know. Is this one on like rhythm? I guess there probably is. But
I mean, I use a visual cue
yeah.
for this, but
And again, it was one hit away, of course.
that's CPR. Yes, Desert, that's CPR is staying alive. And not the verses of staying alive, the chorus. Oh yep, Riley is heading towards GTG. So he was probably within like 20 or so minutes.
I was going to say, what happens here? Riley getting the long shot, or Riley forfeiting if Bono finishes?
Oh, we don't know. That's not a spoiler yet. We don't know if Bono forfeits before he beats and just gives it. He wants to meet ATZ in the losers bracket and stop the losers run. This is looking like a stellar Ganon fight. He's not gonna get
So
the two.
clean.
Or is he gonna get the 230?
No, this scene is way too long, right? I'm pretty
Isn't
sure
it
this
only
is. Is it 20,
like 20
seconds?
seconds?
He might have like 5 seconds for this.
Oh, I don't know. This is so close. No, he's not gonna get it. He's not gonna
Should
get
get
it.
it. He should get it.
Oh, he's not gonna get it. Oh, wait.
He got it.
Oh, he did.
Official,
The stream timer.
official SRL time.
Oh
of
my god.
29:57.
Wow. Bono, congrats, dude. Sub 230.
GG.
And Riley is here too. GG's, guys.
Hey,
Hey,
congrats.
thanks.
Nice sub 230.
Yeah, that was pretty good, I think.
Riley is here, but just muted at the moment. And I
Yeah.
don't know if he's realised.
So what are your thoughts, Bono? How was that? How was that for a seed?
Oh, well, there it is. GG Bono.
Thanks, GG.
Okay, let's bring
yeah.
Riley down so that he stops
Oh.
hurting our ears. Apologies, headphone users.
Sorry.
You're fine. I adjusted you already.
I lowered myself as well.
Okay, well then now I have to turn your volume back up.
Oh, the struggles.
So how are you both feeling about that one?
I'm feeling like I played pretty well, to be honest. I don't think I made
both
any
did.
major mistakes.
Yeah, I think that was a good seed for me because you had to do a lot. Like you had to do GTG, the well, like
Okay, so that's where Longshot was.
yeah, you had
Yep.
to clear the whole game pretty much. At least for me, like I did almost everything except Forest and like Child-Grown City.
Yeah, that's
Other than
almost
that-
what I had left as well. I want to
Yeah.
say.
Neither of you fell for the forest bait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That was pretty clutch not to fall for that.
I mean, I don't know. I felt like I feel like
the last play.
there's a few things that could trip up. I could see tripping up. Like the letter could have been pretty bad.
Yeah, that was my go mode actually.
Yeah, I was going to say for a while.
That's what we
like,
were saying.
It was who found their missing item first, and it was just the letter versus strength 2, and whoever found that was probably, obviously, Riley didn't have the long shot either, but I assume you find
I kind of
strength 2, you
figured
go
Reverse
over-
Wasteland would come after Spirit.
Yeah.
A lot of the separation early on came from the early routing choices. When Riley, you went to Quick Adult, while Bono did 3-Song Child, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, early adult really didn't pay off that much.
I mean, it gave me really good info for the bomb bag, so I pushed
Yes.
that really hard.
And then Bono basically going through the you were committed to not grabbing a bomb bag,
Yeah,
just given one, and
yeah. The
Yeah.
shoes I got in Les Woods as child helped me so much. Like I got 2
Mhm.
strength from that. I got like
Yeah, if those were
hammers.
probably not there, like I said, I saw the bomb bag really early. I'm like, this is probably really important with the scale being in Deku. So I was like, screw it, I'm gonna like do a small adult section and then go straight child and like push that because I
Yeah,
knew
I-
DC was way to hear at the time too. So
I actually never got that bomb bag.
I,
The only
I have
bomb bag I
to
got was
ask.
the well.
yeah,
I have to ask Bono, what was your reaction to the choose in Spirit?
Spirit.
Oh, that I was so happy.
wait, why?
Those were
so
so
Bono-
clutch.
He
Yeah.
just ran out of chews, and then he picks up another pack of 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were actually killing
That was my
the
last
Spirit
check.
to
Well,
leave and do
yeah.
the top.
Yeah, that was so good.
We were kind of speculating before we knew where everything was. Is what if something's on Bomb Chew Bowling? Because Bonooru, obviously, you weren't capable of doing it, and Riley didn't until fairly late in the seed, and so we were kind of wondering if that might be a tipping point for the way the race was going.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hoping.
ways for Riley to get back into it.
I mean,
After,
yeah,
after the well, I was gonna get the bomb bag in the graveyard anyway, so I would have done bowling before going adult again.
so you
But
did
I
You
would
did
have done
the
it
Dangos
really late.
with shoes then, and the string
Yeah.
from Kak.
Kak and actually that was my
Yeah.
savers. I got the one.
he
in
actually had
the
strength.
field
Yeah,
first.
that's like some. I honest to God wanted to check the Boulder of Destiny before Dodongos, and like after I got my bomb bag. Well, no, before I planted the bean and Kak, did all of that, and then like got letter. I did turn in letter, so I was okay. I'm set because I knew Nocturne was there. I think I went adult because I knew Dodongos was double weighted hero.
Yeah.
So instead of doing Boulder, I'm like Dodongos is double weighted hero. That has more priority, so I'll skip it for now. Which
It's a reasonable play for sure. And it just
Yeah.
didn't pay off, unfortunately. That's where strength 2 was.
yeah.
How'd you feel when you found that? Like, did you feel like, oh crap?
Yeah, I knew that's a really easy check that you can literally get like maybe 10 minutes in as with child. So
How did the both of you feel about the mirror shield magic just right next to each other in Goron City? An unhinted Goron City at the time.
Yeah, at that point I thought, okay, this is gonna be a jet seed, and like,
yeah,
Shit
me too. An hour in, like 3 items missing.
yeah,
That's just crazy with this medallion layout. This medallion layout was fairly item intensive, and the fact that you an hour in you were 3 items away was
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Yeah. What else?
Were any of you thinking the possibility of Sunsong being necessary for the all dungeons when it was like the graveyard way of the hero and bomb bag potentially not necessarily being way of the hero, even though Requiem did satisfy that, but did you think that possibly Sun Song was going to play a role?
I mean, if it did, it would have been on the way. Like at some point, it would have done Forest, and it was just like been natural to check it after. Like I don't know, it wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to say, moving forwards, your next opponents are Solly or Cola.
yeah.
So Bono, you'll face the winner of that match. Riley, you'll face the loser of that match. So, any thoughts on those? Anyone you'd rather be against or rather not be against?
I don't really have any preference, but yeah, they both are really good players. So
Everybody's so good in this tournament.
yeah.
Yep.
By the way, both of you, the execution you two showed was really pleasurable to watch. The way that you like the jumps you guys pulled off and the execution on bosses, it's
Such
a pleasure.
clean baronades from both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was actually surprised my execution was really, really good today. I was like, oh, I'm going to be a nervous wreck. I'm going to get butterflies. I won't be able to do anything. And then after 10 minutes, bam, I just like played really well. I think like the biggest one is probably missing flame storage in graveyard once. But
that was the only thing that could even be perceived as a flub. And that's such a tough trick too. So, but both of you nailed quick kill Volvagia, and we're nervous for you, Riley, without the with the timer going. It looked a little bit. It looked like you almost got caught, but managed to get that before Volvagia decided to rise into the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Bono, you just destroyed that. That was one of the best Volvagias I've ever seen.
Did you use shoot? All right.
No, there was no choose. Talk about like normal bomb strat, but
I was going to say, on the topic of the boss execution, it was a little bit like, it was kind of one of those feels bad moments seeing Bono go one hit away from one cycling bongo with Master Sword, and we're like, okay, so close. And then the same against Ganondorf.
Yeah, I was so mad.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with my one cycle. I basically aced all my bosses. I don't think I...
Yeah, you nailed...
Do you have BGS? Because
I got it right before I got my strength 2, so...
I got it, and then I had to reset because I saved come daytime for leaving the castle.
Yeah, that's what we figured. You saved gun. We were confused initially, like, wait, why did you do that? Oh, it's probably for routing CAC time of day.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like my early time of day, like I feel like I made a mistake grabbing those iron boots. I should have just not grabbed them because I did my I did early Deku into adult CAC, or early adult, I should say. And then I saw the iron boots on top of DMT, and I like instinctively went to grab them because it's an important item. I like just went, but I should let them there for now and like come back to them after. They're not really important.
Yeah, it was tough to see. To see that early adult not paying off like that.
I'm used
much.
to it.
with not having any form of explosive or hammer to get into DC.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anything else that was... this was a very straightforward seed, all said and done. Nocturne and Ice Cavern throw you guys off in any way? That's just sort of something you just route in at that point, just like...
Yeah, with how early I got letter, I was like, okay, I'm gonna push letter checks because it could have been easily, like I said, something that is so easy to miss because Lost Woods is barren, and then like it's not hinted at, so it's like kind of out of the way. Otherwise, if you get Lost Woods, way the hero, and if you do if you don't like push the graveyard like I did, like I pushed graveyard, planted the bean, and got the Song as Child, so I went and did that before I did any of Lost Woods. Like I used Minuet, went straight to Zora River, got the beans, went to graveyard before I even touched any of Lost Woods. So then I got Requiem, got Storms, and then came back because I didn't do Lost Woods. So and then I got Letter. I was like, pfft.
There's some really nasty Lost Woods foolish hints too.
Oh
yeah.
Those were in awful spots.
The first one I found was the DMC one.
I
think
never
you were
found
the
that
only.
hint.
Yeah, I think you were the only one who. The other one was near Ice Caverns. So
Yeah, and Bono, you were go moding at that point.
Yeah, the good thing about getting Rutos as a go mode is that I go mode Jabu, I go mode Ice. and
Right,
then-
I did all the checks in there, so
Yeah.
technically, yeah. It makes me
Also-
feel. Sorry, go ahead.
I didn't get the fifth Well the Hero. I only got DC twice, Graveyard, and CAC.
I got Goron City, didn't get Graveyard.
Yeah, we saw
Oh.
Goron City right at the very end,
Mhm.
looking behind at the back end of the lake.
Yeah, I was looking at hints at the end because I was only missing Longshot, and I was missing Strength too, I guess. But I was like, okay, if I get away the hero of an item I haven't gotten yet, I can push it. But fortunately,
So Riley, I have a question for you.
go ahead.
When early adult doesn't pay off like that, do you in a race with such high caliber talent, like anybody in this tournament, like any race in this tournament, that doesn't pay off, do you make changes in how you play when something doesn't pay off like that? You like take
I
different
honestly don't think
risks?
early adult was that bad this seed. To be honest, like I said, it gave me so much info about the bomb bag, and I
Yeah.
think that was really crucial this seed because it made me route so much better, and it kind of like I got the Requiem in there. So, but otherwise, early adult is like it's like more of a risk route. Early route, it's a viable route, but not always. But other than that, you just have to like take the bullet. And if there's nothing in early adult, like the song's not good, like 2 of them are not good, and you don't get anything, like you just have to bite the bullet and go and follow 3 song. I mean, you can take a few risks here and there, but otherwise, not really.
Okay.
yeah, I think the one thing with early adult in this seed was just that minuet, picking up minuet during the 3 song, and then having you, like Riley, you did the walk from Kak over to Kokiri Forest to go and get that, and it was like looking at Bonooru, just like Bonooru just picks up minuet, walks away, fine. So all good. So I think that was the only big kind of hit that early adult had here, but that was a pretty big one because it was Zelda's Lullaby. It's more efficiency on the way through, and the choose meant that the bomb bag didn't actually change that much. Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, I think both of you played this seed very, very well. It was clear that Riley was you were gonna sub 3 this once you found that long shot.
Probably. How late? Where was the long shot specifically?
It was. It depends.
First maze check. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
in the
So you probably would have gone around the entire.
sometimes
loop.
when I'm missing one item, if I get a key in the lobby, I like to go in right away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
I
you
had
did that,
pointed out
yeah.
that sometimes people do that, and in this case, it would have been useful.
I probably sub 240, close to 245. I want to say, not that far behind.
Right, you already had the boss key as well, so
Yeah, I dipped water, got compass. I was like, I'll keep going, check a few things. Then got 2 items. I was like, nah, okay, it's
So yeah, you both did very, very well on this seed.
yeah. I'm not ashamed of how well I played. I'm like I said, Bono's way too good. So if it's a jet seed like this where you basically have to do everything, my chances are diminished. But with how many stuff we both had left, that I'm really proud of how I played, and I'm gonna be excited in losers to try to plow through that. So
Yeah, best of luck against either Soli or Cola.
Yes.
As far as I'm aware, that match still has not been scheduled yet, so we don't know when we'll know who your opponents are.
Cola's probably trying to decipher Solly's.
Yeah, I sure hope they're communicating a little more directly in DMs.
Yeah. So I'd like to shout out to our trackers one more time here. Thank you, Tomoltalk13 and Silver, for tracking for us. You guys did a fantastic job.
And thank you to the runners, obviously, Bonooru, Riley. It was a great race to watch, a lot of fun. I am Keepsake, and here with Lost a Pirate and Yoshi. Yoshi Kian. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah, Yoshi Kian works, yeah.
Okay. And we thank you all for watching. I'm assuming we're okay
we
with
aren't quite over yet. We have the tiny bit of shamelessly selling out the upcoming matches.
Yes, go for it.
we do want to cover that before we leave. This is the last thing on the schedule for Monday, so y'all can go to bed. But coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. at 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC, we have Marco versus Earl Weird with our continued coverage of Ocarina of Time Randomizer Season 3. That is our top seed versus our 32nd seed, so that's going to be an interesting one to watch. And if Ocarina of Time isn't quite your jam, I'm a little bit confused why you're still hanging out with us in the interview phase, but we've got Zelda 2 Randomizer's weekly race coming up tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. UTC. So we've got Zelda coming up for you, and then, at least based on the current schedule, Wednesday's going to be a chance for everybody to get some rest. But there's still the possibility of Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup matches, or the Wind Waker Tournament Randomizer Tournament matches getting scheduled that day, Ocarina matches getting scheduled that day. Who knows? Wednesday's a whole 2 days away.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch all the other bracket matches. That's all. I mean, I like. This is great.
I still have like 3 or 4 bracket matches to catch up on. I'm glad I didn't get any of those spoiled for me yet. I don't know how I managed to get through this.
Thank you, chat, for being very respectful and not spoiling how the other match that was going on this afternoon, finished. Thank you very much.
You did well, chat. You controlled yourself.
Chat behaved. We have an amazing chat community around here.
An amazing community.
They are very polite.
I love this community.
Any final thoughts from our runners?
Not really. I think we said everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, GG again, Riley.
Yeah, you too. For sure.
Yeah, those of you over in Europe, go to bed, rest well. In North America, get some dinner, have a lovely evening.
I'm going to
work. See y'all here
work
tomorrow for more Ocarina of Time Randomizer. Well, probably not quite here. Probably will be happening over on ZSR main, not here on ZSR 2, but y'all know what I mean. Have a lovely whatever time of day it is, and we'll see y'all here tomorrow.
Sounds good.
GG's.
See ya.
Good night.